knows what's happening. That's on. That's on. That's on. That's on. That's back on. We've done the thing. I mean, tentatively. We've tentatively done the thing. It is 60% relative humidity inside this building because knowing what we know, we turned the old swampy. We turned the old swampy on at like 8 o'clock this morning. We were ready. So outdoors, probably low double digits, 15%, 18% outside. But it is a full-blown 60% humidity in here, but it is also 77 degrees inside the building. Well, in the far corner, where no air moves. It is definitely comfortable. We are comfortable here. Have I not seen a Spaniard, I must say? No, I haven't. That guy acting like he does something. I don't know. What is to be done with the youths? Jimbo with the first 5 out of the box. And now it's all fresh. All of the gifted had run up. Hey, Mark Sexton got tagged right off the bat. Yeah, 50% humidity outside. You can absolutely miss me with that. Well, 75 and 50% humidity, that's fine. But when we get 50% humidity outside, it's probably like it's not going to be pleasant. Chuck Hurley with another 5. The Kraken. I remember seeing the Kraken. It's like half names I've seen come up before and half names I've never seen come up. I don't know. YouTube, listen, YouTube. I know that what you're going for is some semblance of like, oh, it's democratic. Let people pick who they want to give their gift memberships to. I don't think that's asking for too much.
Random or targeted?
Yeah. Andre with another 5. 15. We climbing. Mad Scientist and Makers, that name I definitely recognize. RC Family dropping the one. Rice Krispie. Look at that. See? It's hitting targets. So, while that experiment may have been an abject failure, because I did not know that we had speculated, and you don't know until you know. And I had speculated because people had asked, would you rather me donate something or do a super chat or gift a membership? And I had speculated that gifting the memberships somehow tweaked the algorithm, but I had no idea to what level, because without the gifted memberships in the month of June, which was my doing, everything just fell off a cliff. View counts down because impressions are down. Everything down. You know what's not down? Us. We're here. We're doing the thing. It's Friday. 77 degrees inside the building. I'm thinking about the coffee drink already, and that won't be. That's 4 hours away. And the wife said she wants Farmer Boys for dinner, which if you don't live in a locality near a Farmer Boys, the highlight of Farmer Boys for me is the fried zucchini, because they take a zucchini the size of your forearm, they cut it into 4 pieces, and they deep fry it. It's a meal. The fried zucchini is a meal all in and of itself. So I am thinking about the coffee drink and a fried zucchini the size of my forearm. They give you ranch in these tiny little, like the things that I drain oil into, shock oil, those little plastic portion cups. You need a full portion cup for one of the pieces of zucchini. It's often too much.
Sometimes the zucchini doesn't fit into the
Sometimes the zucchini is so big. Oh, there's one right here. Sometimes pardon my reach. The zucchini is so big it won't fit into one of these cups. Ooh. That's definitely Losi 40. It's got the purple. I don't know why I don't just throw them away. Vegetables no bueno. If you can
zucchini.
Deep fry it. Also, The sweet potato, when you get the vegetable tempura at the sushi place and they tempura fry the sweet potato. Onion rings? Come on, DHF Hades. Some vegetables, no bueno.
French fries?
Okra. But, I mean, technically, if we're not talking about our own personal health, a potato is a vegetable. And that's French fries. And, like, I know people don't like... Guy 307 is literally eating fried zucchini right now. Jealous! Yo!
So jealous, we gotta wait.
We gotta wait. It'll be 4 hours. Oh, more than that. It'll be 4 hours until I got a coffee drink, and it's probably gonna be 5 hours until I've got fried zucchini in me. But I'm excited. Fried zucchini today. This was my purchase. One of my purchases from the Expo. That is correct. Sfax is correct. Technically, vegetables do not exist. There is no such thing as a vegetable. They're all like either parts of flowers. It's just like there's no such thing as fish. Like we just name this category of things randomly. Ooh, see, Swampers you can tell lives from someplace in the South, because if you could find a Californian with no Southern ties and said, "Hey, what do you think of okra?" They'd be like, it's slimy. It's
I've never tried it fried.
I've tried okra a couple times, and on all of the couple times, not a fan. See, Sfax's fried okra is peak. For coffee, we go to a little local joint. It's a chain, but it's local to Southern California, called Coffee Klatch, Klatch. We used to have to drive all the way to San Dimas to go and get one. And they opened one like 4 miles from the house. Robert L. eats okra raw. Oh, my gosh. And I get a drink called the Patio Special, which is, imagine a milkshake with a shot of espresso in it, and a cookie. It's called a secret ingredient in the Patio Special, and the secret ingredient is they grind an Oreo up into it. So imagine a milkshake with a shot of espresso and an Oreo ground up into it. It's amazing, and it is made with ice cream, not soft serve, not ice like you would get at like a Starbucks. There's a reason that I ingest one per week, because I could get into all of the conceivable troubles. Oh my God, I'd be even bigger than I am now.
Milkshake a day.
I've also tried grits, and one time I tried it, did not care for it. The second time I tried it, I was like, you know what? This is kind of okay.
I wasn't impressed by grits.
But there is, if you have textural issues, I could understand why. Has USPS shown up? Oh, absolutely not. No, the Postal Service gets here. We're lucky if the mail shows up before 4 p.m. Yeah, so these are all the Bandai. Taro Sakamoto is a Bandai. This guy's a Bandai. So all of the newer figures are vinyl, and like solid vinyl. So like a pound. You're not gonna want to put one of these in. This is not a driver for a future rig. I only like basic vegetables like peas, carrots, broccoli, maybe Swedes? I don't know. You got some sort of British vegetable that we don't know about over here? You got to put one arm on. This is Gear 4 Luffy, and we don't have a Gear 4. We've got multiple Gear 5s, and apparently there are all the gears. There's Gears 2 and 3 and on and on.
What is this gear, like season?
He powers up. I've been watching it along with the wife, so she's at about episode 130 or so. I absolutely burned through Swedes and Neeps. Look, you're just typing letters. That's not. That's not a thing, what you're doing. I refuse to be a party to it. Swedes and neeps. Mashed Swede with a Sunday roast. I can't even ask the lady whose name we can't speak, else I activate everyone's in their home. I can't even ask her what a Swede is because she would say it's a person from Sweden. Yes, mashed Swede. Okay, listen, British people. British people. What is a Swede to the rest of the Swedes and neeps sounds like a slur.
I think it's rutabaga.
It's a rutabaga?
Yeah.
Wild. That is wild behavior. Oh yeah, Jeff at Temple says it's a turnip. Swedes and neeps does sound Muppet-ish. Definitely Muppet adjacent. It is a root vegetable. Over here.
Between cabbage and a turnip.
So it's its own thing.
It's also known as a rutabaga.
Also known as a rutabaga.
Turnip and cabbage.
All right.
Or a neep.
Neeps is what Scots call mashed parsnips. Look.
Well, a nep is also or a nep. N-E-E-P.
If you go to Britain, don't get the pudding. It ain't what you think. No. That one I know. That one I know.
What, no blood pudding?
No blood pudding, thank you. It's not the best spin we've ever done, but we're spinning. We're spinning. That's how you know. That's how you know we're officially underway. The tarot baits have apparently done the job. I haven't seen an ant in here 3 or 4 days. It's been pretty nice.
And I've had sodas.
The Unsub podcast is making up new ones that don't mean anything. The current one is plop. I saw the Instagram reel of the one where they wanted giblet. They were like, it was spelled with a J, J-I-B-L-E-T. They were like, get on board with giblet. You can call, they said that they don't believe in slurs because of their specificity. Just use the word giblet for everyone. And be like, that's some real giblet behavior. And you can use it on anybody. Stop acting like a giblet. And I'm definitely, I'm on board with this idea. What's the red dishes at the end of the workbench? Someone sent in 3D printed inserts an eternity ago, and they were printed in halves. And these were inside of Vanquish's Baja Claws for the past couple of years. And then when they came out, they didn't quite fit as well in the rock blocks. So they're waiting for their next 475 Baja Claw rock block, both 475s, thinner carcass on the X2SS stuff. Don't giblets go with gizzards? Yeah, the giblet, G-I-B-L-E-T, is some part of a bird.
I think it's like the turkey neck.
Some part of a bird that is probably,
flap on a turkey.
is probably supposed to be thrown away. But, we've started to eat it. So, we're going to see if maybe we can. We're going to say, I love Bubble and Squeak. You're just saying things. We're going to see if we can't get this put together. I said a great many unkind things to this chassis while attempting to assemble it this morning because I am I think buffoon. I think for the day, I think we'll go with buffoon. I think buffoon is accurate because the gentleman who sent this in from local down Pomona ways, this is the Kit Crawler, K-I-T-T, like the car, Michael Knight, like the Knight Rider. He had mentioned what he built his around. He designed this chassis, was kind enough to send one in with all of the 3D printed bits, including some, like the sliders. The quality on the slider is definitely up there. This is well did. And then I do what I do. Giblets come from turkey, gizzards from chicken. There you go. Oh, yes, flea darts. Yes, yes, yes. That is what they call foxtails. They call them flea darts because my socks were encrusted in them. And from the Wheel on Wednesday, like 3 back, where we went trailblazing, I was picking foxtails out of the little vents in my shoes with a pair of tweezers. It took like 30 minutes to get them all out. I was wearing the inappropriate footwear for the avenue that I chose. So we are gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if we can't put this together, and I will get distracted many times.
You're also painting a body.
And now they're all talking about how much they love Bubble and Squeak. Bubble and Squeak. Okay, let's try to deduce.
Isn't that a Harry Potter thing?
Sure sounds like it.
Tavern?
The Squeak is going to be beans, isn't it? So what's the Bubble?
Pork and like, fatback and beans?
Is it just pork?
And beans?
Is Bubble and Squeak just pork and beans? That's our guess. That's our guess. From way down California way, that's our American guess as to what Bubble and Squeak is. And that, if you tell me no, then you're going to have to additionally respond by telling me what it is. Because I don't know what we have in the way of what food stuff can we say.
That one makes sense. That bubbled when you cook it.
Bubble and Squeak sounds like pork and beans.
Yeah. That'd be the best guess for me as well.
Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and mashed potato fried.
That's Bubble and Squeak?
Apparently.
Okay.
Because now that really brings into Technicolor what RC Family said about why he's not allowed to eat it often. Because I would say to that, rightfully so. That would just turn you into a weapon. That's just what? Cabbage and Brussels sprouts and potatoes? Why not?
Good.
Yeah, but why not just turn yourself into gas? Turn yourself into a gas. No longer be solid. Toad in the hole. I've heard that one before.
Egg sandwich.
The blind guy says it's an egg sandwich.
Well, it's basically a hole in a piece of bread.
Sunday dinner leftovers basically mixed together. Man, here's what I'm gonna say. And I mean this with all kindness. You British people, your contributions to world cuisine are question marks. Absolute question marks.
That's why they stay in Britain.
Yeah, there's a reason we've never heard of Bubble and Squeak here.
Well, we've heard of like spotted dick.
Yeah.
Blood sausage.
Blood sausage. Bangers and mash.
Bangers and mash.
How do you think Jolly Green would do as a 4x4 like cut down version? It'd be like any other
Be a TRX4.
it'd be any other LCG TRX4, I assume. It's never going to be as capable because the two more words, the two more tires make all the difference in the world. The British are the only people I can think of that tried to conquer the world for spices only to end up using none of it. It's funny. It's mean, but it's funny, right?
It's
you know?
true. Ones that are spicy.
Casual Crawlers just uttered a phrase that, out of context, is diabolical. And they quote, "Spotted dick is tasty when you get used to it." You gotta watch out. Like, you gotta watch out where you say those things.
Yeah.
What do you expect? They live in a place that rains too much and they fight. Oh, see, Rudy's just messing with us now. Toad in the Hole is like a Dutch baby with salt and sausages. You can't define a random thing with another random thing. Could it be said that the Revolutionary War was about diet choices? It really could. Oh my God. All right, look. I have definitely mentioned in the past that I'm a watcher of the Yogscast from Bristol. And they've got a couple people on there like Oz and Boof that are from the north, the northerners. So they're big fans of the Chip Buddy. Britton, are you all right? Like, do I need to check in on you? If you take a piece of bread and fill it with French fries and then put another piece of bread on it, that's literally just carbs on carbs. Like,
that doesn't sound good at all.
Put
some meat on it.
What happened to the meat? Are you guys? Well, here's the thing: the British love to suffer so much that they can't give up war food. Is what it was. Britain still thinks it's on rations. At least that's what I think sometimes. They're like, we know that there's others. They have one of the most international cuisines. Like, there's food from all around the world. Not French fries, chips. Don't you start with me. Don't you start with me. Don't you start with me. Listen, Britain. Chips
They're both fried
are hard and come in a bag. Okay? French fries are potatoes of a various thickness, also fried, sometimes comes in a bag. You see, we all... How very dare you? Proper chips and brown sauce. I have tried it. Oh my God. All right, here's the deal. I do have a portion of my lineage that hails from the Isles, okay? That's where my name traces back to. But also, my great-great-grandfather was born here, but my great-grandfather was not. They went back to England. And then my grandfather was born here in Chicago. So they came and then went back and then came back again. I have tried brown sauce and absolutely not. Absolutely not. Brown sauce is categorized for me with Marmite, Vegemite.
You ever tried Vegemite?
Yes.
Nah,
It tastes like putting a handful of bees in your mouth. It just stings. It stings your mouth. It is aggressive in your mouth parts. It is maybe the... Are we taking lessons from a guy who can't say chassis properly? Chassis! 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 Don't make me go on the internet and have it read the word chassis out because it's pronounced chassis. Brown sauce sounds very wrong. Toad in the Hole is pork sausages cooked in a Yorkshire pudding batter. Oh, I'm all right with that. So a corn dog. Take that, Britain. Take that. A bacon buddy with brown sauce. Ugh.
Now, is that what they call sandwiches?
How do you say champagne? I say champagne. Or do you want me to say champagne? It's champagne. A bacon Sammy with brown sauce is lush. Guys. You have the cuisines of the whole world. And I want you to reflect for just a moment. Americans, yes, we're guilty. We put ranch on a lot of things. You have a sauce literally called brown sauce. You couldn't even give us a flavor designation. Or, what is soy sauce? It's made from soy. It's made from soy. We know what a lot of things are. What is brown? It's brown. It's brown. anytime you start in champagne, anytime you start identifying things purely by color, you've fallen into the risk zone. None of your food is lush. The chip buddy sounds like a cry for help.
Like a vegan thing.
I mean, I love a burrito with some fried potatoes in it. But I'm not going to fry up a bunch of home fried potatoes, put it in a tortilla, roll it up and eat it. That's diabolical. Oh, hey, look. Don't forget that they still have Red 40. They just give it a different name so it doesn't sound so scary. So it's champagne, but chassis instead of chassis. Yeah, because there's a difference between champ, like he won the race, he's the champion, and chassis, champagne, champion. I don't want to go too deep into the linguistics of it, but it all comes back around to lazy mouth. It's why Californians don't say things like T's and C's in Santa Monica. We don't pronounce the T. It's Santa. We don't say Santa Monica because you have to move your tongue too fast in your mouth and or slow down your speech. So we say champagne. We don't say champagne, but we do say chassis, and we're not going to say chassis because it would have to start with an S for that. You have to remember, we are, how is it said? Two countries divided by a common language is Britain and the United States. Champagne is pronounced weird because of France. Never forget that oiseau. Anybody, do we got any French speakers? Baps is just bread, right? Or is it boobs? Which one is baps? Is it bread or is it boobs? Oiseau is French for bird. And if you want to have a good time and you don't speak any French, go to Google and just type in French for bird. And then look at the word that comes up. That's all you need to know. So whenever they make fun of English, have a French person. Find a French person. Flea dart. Just stab me in the foot. Have a French person pronounce Netflix or Disneyland. Either one are equally funny. Bread rolls or boobs. There you go. Oh, we also have Worcestershire sauce. Yeah, that's true. But that's the British's fault, I think. Next, they're going to justify how they ruin aluminum. Yeah, that's true. Well, apparently, there's an argument to be made either way because the way the British say aluminium follows the convention of the other words, the other metal elements that end in like molybdenum, which I still refuse to say. It's molybdenum because molybdenum is not fun. It lacks fun, and it will forever lack fun. Say ciao to Frenchie. Why do I have to be at work when this is being built? You picked the wrong day to be a responsible adult. That's on you, man. Oh, there's an ant. Nice. It's dead now. There was an ant. It's gone now. I threw all my links in a pile. And now I have to find the two. Don't.
135 and the other big one are in the back.
Oh, no, the backs are no problem. Like I said, easier to build, easier to source. Then I just, threw the fronts in a pile because I was like, okay, I put it in upside down. Awesome. Because the chassis is upside down. Hey, Psycho Garage! Don't forget the British also invented the word soccer and then decided they were too snooty to use their own word. True. Aluminum. Correct. What chassis? Kit crawler. He's right there. He's right below you. Aluminum in England and U.S. are spelt differently. Yes, they added not just another letter, but a whole syllable. They added aluminium. And we just say aluminum. Also, if you're unaware, America loves the diacritic that is an upside down E, the schwa sound. The schwa sound is wonderfully named because it doesn't sound like schwa. It sounds like butter. Butter? Butter pecan! We use the sound a lot. We love it. Butter pecan. Bang. I feel like I'm going to do this. Wait. Got it. Did I hear you last week say that you may build a Jolly Green with an LCXU, or was I dreaming? If I could get a hold of one, I would build a... Someone asked if you thought you could build a Jolly Green with an LCXU, and you absolutely could. It would not be difficult to either make an adapter for the skid or just have Zoku make a skid specifically. Like, he could do it. Like, we could do a blank skid option for Jolly Greens in the future. We have the world is our oyster. Yeah. Oh, hey, J. Lobus to the 5. We're getting back up there. The sawtooth lives again. From what I recall, back in the 1900s, when the dictionary was updated, it was changed to aluminium in the English dictionary, but America chose to stick to aluminum. Yeah. My name sounds like someone from the South saying, "Kneel down, y'alls." Yeah. I love how pronunciation guides do the funky letters, and it just makes sense when you look at it without any context. Yeah, that's how phonetic spelling is supposed to work. It's supposed to make you go, oh, that's how you say that. Odd how we can call a sport where you mainly kick a ball football. Who'd have thunk it? Yeah. But it's too late. Is this the CompFox thing? No. CompFox is carbon. CompFox is carbon fiber. Yeah, I'm worried about Hugo as well. Is this 2 weeks in a row? And I don't think he's back at L'Oreal yet. I don't know. But we got another 2 guys. Whoa! I need the driver 8 with 20. With the 20. Let me see. Do we see names? Celtic Warrior. Seen that one before. This one will be going for a while. I've seen Jersey Scaler and Todd Brandel before. Ben Lee, John Lau, Patrick S. Sloth Squatch I've definitely seen before. And Dalton Paxton. I recognize a lot of these names. A lot of the names click in my head because I've had to type them into the wheel of names before. I wonder when we give something away next, I wonder if we open up Wheel of Names if the names are still on it. Because I think it's all googly. Quick Ren, Bjorn T. Larson, I've seen a lot of these names. Yeah, 20. Thank you, Byron, for the tenor, which we'll spend on something ludicrous. On that, you can count. Okay, I can't put the lower on. I mean, the upper. I don't know where to go. I did the prep. I built links, and because I neglected, if it's football, why is it football in Evelyn language? Why isn't it pie pelota in Spanish? No, it's F-U-T-B-O-L. It's football. Because most of the languages of the world are hypocrites. Are absolute hypocrites. Because they cherry pick. That's why Real Japan is one of my favorite things going right now. I'm a Sugi. Because Japanese is an almost exclusively contextual language where they'll have one word that means 8 different things relative to the context you're using it in. And American English doesn't have that. We don't have, well, I mean, bless your heart. We have those localized things. But we don't have, like, We don't have a word that means mother-in-law and fountain and this and all at the same time. So they're like, oh, well, we pick and choose. Yeah, English is the great aggregator.
Well, read and read is one of those. That is contextually the same function.
That is terrible. I know a 4-year-old that can't say please in Spanish. ... Dat por favor. Dang it. That's multilingual dad joke is kind of next level, if I'm being honest. Por favor. I can't speak Spanish at all. Yeah. My mother-in-law is Mexican, and she knows that I know enough that if you speak Spanish in front of me, I'm gonna be able to pick enough up. I'm gonna be able to figure out that I'm gonna get the gist of it. So she knows this. So she knows to monitor herself. But she also knows that one of my favorite things in the whole world is deliberately mispronouncing anything in Spanish. You know, guacamole. You know, like yo no quiero. Like I will put the whitest accent on Spanish conceivable. No say, mi hombre. I get the gist, but it's better for people to think you don't speak any of a language. Once Ugo gets a GF, we'll never see him again. You got that right. Sometimes I forget that he's like an absolute youth. Oh, Japaleno? Yeah. I go further than jalapeno. Japaleno. You got to get it. You have to actually get the syllables out of order. And I refuse to call soccer football. It's the most played sport in the world. I don't care. We already have football. I don't even really watch it. Oh, tortilla? Yeah. Or tortilla? Yeah. My current favorite quote is "Aloha, mi amigos," pronounced as southern as possible. Aloha, mi amigos, como estas? Yeah, that's for sure. Aloha. And yes, someone said, oh, you built the links in advance? You are damn right I did, because it probably took
2 hours.
It took 2 hours. Sourcing the 8 links for this took at least 2 hours. And it was not enjoyable, and it was my own fault. I acknowledge this openly and actively, because somewhere on my computer is an email where Mr. Kitcrawler said, I use this gearbox, these axles, these links, etc., etc. The Kitcrawler chassis has been here for a minute. So the fact that it hasn't been built before, that's on me. And the blind guy and I were conversing prior to the start of this, and I was like, Quesadilla? Yeah, you got to get the dilla on the end of it. Whatever you do, don't roll any letter. No rolled R's, none of the L's, no quesadilla, none of that. Quesadilla? Or, if you feel it, put the R sound on the end. Quesadilla? Are we going to have any knife runs? I'm assuming he means night runs. We're going to go with the assumption.
My knife's delivered.
We're going to go off of that assumption. Okay, did I pick the right one or the wrong one? This got a little bit twisted. How is that caster looking? It's not bad. I think I was... yeah. So, yeah, night run? Yeah, we could absolutely. Because on the real hot days, it's still like 100 degrees at 9 o'clock at night. The desert.
The desert filled with houses, so the heat dissipates.
Yeah, the heat doesn't dissipate. Yeah, urban desert. The Arizona people know. They live in real desert. They got haboobs and everything. So it's not cerveza? Oh, that's what they taught me in Andalusia? Like, what's the one? Ibiza? Ibiza?
Barcelona?
Barcelona? Just keep your tongue pressed against the roof of your mouth. Hugo's not here. Are we making fun of the Spanish?
Spaniards.
What chassis is that? I'm not telling you. I gotta remember to do that with my Mexican neighbor. Yeah, that's the thing. They don't care. Like, they won't be offended at all.
Especially like if you say, oh, aloha, amigo.
Aloha, mi amigo. He'll be like, no mames, güey. He'll hit you right back. Somebody asked, how was Anime Expo? It's over. The wife already has in her phone, she has this little timer that's counting how many days until Anime Expo 2026.
Wow.
She already knows the dates of Anime Expo 2026 and everything. It makes me uncomfortable. I am thinking right now, I'm having a rethought. Because of the angle on that, look at that. That's gonna give me some, like, bonk, it stops. Bap, bap, bap. I'm thinking we pop those off and we put like some 2mm spacers on them. Get the tweezums out. One of dems. And one of dems. So I'll pull those 16s and swap them for 18s. Oh, yeah. Casual Crawlers wonders if Spaniards think Mexicans pronounce Spanish weird. It's further than that. They barely speak the same language. Hugo, if presented with Mexican Spanish, can barely understand any of it. It's like in high school, if you went to high school, when I did, back in the 1900s, they didn't teach us Mexican Spanish. They taught us Spanish. And let me tell you, that didn't really help. Because the people that live locally to us don't speak Spanish. Easy way to learn down in Spanish, a butthole. What? What? So confused now. I learned most of what I know of Spanish from the Mexican dishwashers that worked at the first establishment that I worked at out of high school. And they were learning English, and I was learning Spanish curse words, Mexican curse words, and we had a grand time. But, like, I mean, I can read a billboard, I can ask for a bathroom. Yeah. I could order food. I don't speak it. I understand it well enough that I can tell if somebody's calling me a colorful name. Now that I can do. Apparently, from what I'm gathering from this, my understanding of Spanish is about as good as my understanding of what they speak in England.
England's got a lot of their own words.
Closer than I thought. I hear Spanish, but only if it's spoken very slowly. Oh, if they go to rapid Spanish, listen to someone from Quebec speaking. I'm sorry, Quebec speaking to someone from France. It's like me trying to understand Spanish. Yeah, I sound more Australian than anything. All right, right. Australian accent is wild. It's like someone learned an English accent by someone just describing to them what it sounded like. But the person that it was being described to already had a little bit of an accent. It's like when you hear any language spoken with a southern accent that isn't like Spanish, but like there's a comedian that has a deep, like a full-on, like a West Texas drawl, but he can speak Chinese. So when you hear Chinese in a West Texas drawl, you're like, what? What is that? What is that? Is that a new language? I took 3 years of Spanish in high school. Donde está la biblioteca? Yeah. I think we've freed it up a little. We'll give it the little twisty. Okay. This seems all right. Got the full sweep. I didn't pre-mock drive shafts. We're gonna have to build those. That's not a lie. A while ago, there were these two British dudes visiting our neighborhood, and a man, half the time you were like, what did you say? I forgot to water my wife's orchids and killed them. She comes home tonight from Europe. RC Zilla is going to get it.
Yep.
You better have a dog, and I know he does, and you better throw that dog's ball into that orchid, right? So that dog just mauls that thing, and then the dog can take the rap. Because as we all know, ladies will go easier on the dog than they will on the man. Because if she finds out you killed her flowers, RC Zilla is definitely in trouble. Also, is it too late to replace them? Is it too late to replace them and play it off as if it never happened?
They just shrank a bit. They missed you.
He would probably man it up and forget and like buy the wrong color. Because that's what I would do. Just make the whole situation worse. Were you trying to hide your incompetence from me? No, my darling. This is genuine incompetence. Yes, orchids are a pain in the ass in general. The only thing that grows in this yard is the things that have decided that it wants to grow here. Anything I plant invariably dies. It's the desert. Oh, Chuck Hess with the German. I can read Deutsche, yeah, German. And meine Frau, my girl, ist Deutsch, is German. I have, in sex Monart, that I don't know. She will go nuts at him for letting the dog destroy her flowers. Yeah, but dogs have a built-in chaos level. Like there's a certain amount of chaos to a dog that cannot be anticipated. Almost did it backwards and upside down again. Almost as if I don't know what I'm doing, because I don't. We're trying. Trying.
Yeah, I only remember bad German from high school.
Yeah. Curse words. Why is it that curse words lock right in? Why do we always remember those? In 6 months, I learned German, and my wife is German. Oh. Yeah, you got the full immersion. You got the full immersion training. You didn't have a choice. Because otherwise she's going to say unkind things about you that you can't understand. So that was learning German to survive. Not that women would ever say anything unkind about us directly to our faces. They would never do that. I would say one of the things that I'm luckiest about in this life is that I speak more Spanish than my wife does. Because if she was fluent in Spanish, she'd be even zesty. She'd be even spicier than she is now. You can't call anybody zesty anymore. Because apparently zesty means gay. Okay. I learned that recently from one of my children, that zesty now means gay. And I was like, isn't gay already a word? Like a euphemism for your sexual orientation? We got to give them another one? And I say them. I refer to a lot of people as them. Groups of people? Yeah. Don't say book in Croatian. Book! book in Croatian. I assume that it's like something terrible. Well, what do you, is it the British or is it the Australians that are guilty of this? If it's a little bag that has a belt that goes around your waist, what we would here call, what you in Britain would never call, a fanny pack, because I recognize it has a different meaning over there. But I'm pretty sure that the Australians call it a bum bag. That means something different here as well. Because a hobo has a bindle. That's a different kind of bum bag. I knew that these dumb weights were going to get in my way. I'm not 100% sure how I got the screws out in the first place. They got to stop messing with words, no cap. Rudy, I see what you did there. I'm gonna allow it. 2 bonus points to Rudy for the stop messing with words, no cap. There's 3 words I avoid using in Spanish because I'm afraid of mixing them up. Mocos, moscas, and mecos. Okay, moscas are flies, and mocos are boogers, but I don't know what mecos are. Fanny is slang for a lady's front parts. Yes, I am aware. Yes, the old front bum. MKRC with 5. Nuts works. Gares. Yeah, all the old names are coming back. Rad Raff. So Croatian for book is kutzak?
What does book mean in Croatian?
Now they're just hitting me with too much foreign language, and my brain pan isn't deep enough. I can barely, to quote Corbin Dallas, listen, lady, I speak two languages, English and bad English. You have had an accident. I was watching it again on the Blu-ray during the internet outage, the infamous internet outage. Which the internet has been, we're on 0 drop frames. So I do not know pants don't mean trousers in the UK. Yes, they mean underwear. Yes. That I also know. I watch a lot of British TV. Taskmaster. My brain has gone blank. Doctor Who. Hey, I don't want to hear myself in delay. I had to hear myself the first time.
Turned it down.
Don't make me hear myself again. From inappropriate food to inappropriate language in the first hour. Is Erwin off to bed early shift? That guy. Erwin is sort of the Chandler Bing of the group. No one's 100% sure what he does exactly. Oh, Mekos is semen. Oh, yeah, there you go. All right. Well, I'm assuming slang 4. Okay. I'm gonna try to decipher this one. I'm gonna translate this. There should have been more Sherlock funds between Iron Man and Doctor Strange. The autocorrect there is tough. You nearly made it up for your slight against the mighty Chip Buddy with the Taskmaster. Taskmaster is one of the greatest TV shows ever. Also, I've watched almost all the 8 out of 10 Cats. Any of the Jimmy Carr stuff. Where he does like a countdown, where he does the breakdown of the year. They do one once a year with the like panel of comedians that are just trying to tank the thing on purpose. It's great. 25, so we'll go with 30 in case we need to put a lot in there. I hear the sounds of machinery outside, and I hope it's just like carpet cleaners or something, because whenever I hear machinery outside, I just assume they're breaking something. Kiwis and Aussies are the only people I can think of that use the C word with positive connections. Scottish too, from what I've seen and or heard. They're pretty fond of that. I don't think they're as fond of it as you guys, as you folks from down under. You guys love it. You love that word. You honestly love it. It's a whole different world down there.
Convicts and criminals.
And whatever you do, don't call New Zealanders Aussies. Well, it's like calling a Scotsman an Englishman. They don't. They do. Them's just fighting words. They take it fairly serious. Black Books, Mighty Boosh, IT Crowd. I have Mighty Boosh and IT Crowd on DVD. I think one of them's out here. Yeah. But it's also on the streamers. So look at this. Still in the still sealed in the wrapper. Still sealed in the wrapper. Monty Python's Flying Circus. I have the whole box set of that. Yeah, British TV is great. Hi, Mr. C. I just need to grab a box and I'm going to send you a set of megalithics. Do it! I accidentally ordered too many tires. Sometimes I get busy and don't pay attention to all I'm doing on Amazon. God, I wish I could do that. Spaced. I have Spaced on DVD as well. Calling a Yank a Canadian. I think it might be worse to call a Canadian an American. They get really offended by it. Americans wouldn't get too offended if you called us Canadians. We'd be like, do you see me with a jar of maple syrup in my hand?
First Canadian when we go out of the country.
Did I ride in here on a beaver? Good old Canadians. Everybody just has to worry that the Canadians will return to their World War I roots. Then the whole planet's in trouble. Canada and Poland. Basically calling anyone from any other state of Californian. Yeah. Yeah, especially if it's the South.
Any red state, yeah?
Yes, the Canadians do not like Snow Mexican either. No.
Snow Mexican.
When I first saw that one on an Instagram reel, and I choke laughed. I choke laughed at Snow Mexican. That is...
First time I've ever heard
that is Snow Mexican is tremendous. He pulls up to the job site, and there's just a couple of Canadian guys, and you can tell they're Canadian guys because they both have toques on. And he's like, yo, where's this guy? And they start, like, jawing at him. And he's like, look, I ain't got time for you Snow Mexicans. And that was the first time I'd ever heard that one. How different are the HB Rovers and the Sedonas? Rovers are one of the best tires you can still currently get. They are a full 2 levels down from a Sedona. The Sedona is old-timey, sacrifice all for nothing but unadulterated forward drive. Don't you dare call me a Yankee either. Oh yeah, the Southerners, they don't like being the Yankee connotation. I think if you're born below a certain line of latitude, you come out of the womb hating the New York Yankees. Like you have to. More so than any other sports team. Like you could have no interest in baseball, and if somebody says, "Oh man, you see the Yankees?" You're like, "Ugh." If that's as deep as I'm going to go into stereotyping the South, then we're going to be doing all right. We get defensive about being called Aussies because they're all underarm bowling, and then there's the and then there's their favorite word. Are we the baddies? The skulls on our hats. Are we the baddies? What's on the table? Kit Crawler.
5 minutes. You need to
Reactive Terrain said something about his dad's Jerusalem cruisers on a recent episode. Yeah, like any flip-flop type, any sandal Jerusalem cruisers. Yeah, I haven't heard that one in a hot minute myself. Oh, Chuck Hurley got kicked off YouTube for a minute. What do you think about the Rhino Moza tires? I think they didn't quite get the 3 C's correct. The 3 C's of the canyon nomenclature are compound, carcass, and composition. By composition, I mean like the orientation of the lugs. You take yourself a tire that got the 3 C's correct. J-concept's green. The carcass is the correct thickness. It is not ribbed. It is not belted. It is none of that stuff. And then there is the correct amount of spacing between the lugs, and the height of the lugs is correct. The J-concept's tusk and arguably got the 3 C's correct. Rhino Mosa, the compound is this close. They made their carcass a little thin for the height of the sidewall, and then both in the Mosa and the Trachite, they didn't get the lugs really spot on. The Mosa was underwhelming. If I'm going to spend that kind of money on a pair of tires, I want to, at the very least, be whelmed. And I was underwhelmed by those. Chassis is a kit crawler. I have several sets of 2-2 Sonodas. Let's make a trade. Oh ho ho. Oh ho ho ho. The Cowboys are easy to hate. The Cowboys and the Doyers are equally easy to hate because they have this mystique that they generated out of nowhere. Like, do the Cowboys still call themselves America's team? Oh, God, shut up. Like, look, we already get it. Don't mess with Texas, etc. If you are a sports fan of any caliber and you have any amount of self-respect in the United States, the Cowboys would be the least of the Texas teams. I'll take the Texas Rangers. I'll take the Astros. I'll take, what's the other football team? Or did it move away? They used to have, what was it, the Oilers? Didn't they move away, though?
The Titans.
Texas Titans. I'll take any sports team before the Cowboys. The Cowboys owner is definitely easy to hate. Yeah. They present themselves such. The Yankees are a little bit guilty of it because they have all that history. But the Texans, the Houston Texans. Is that the LA Cowboys? I'm not up to speed with American soccer. That's really well done. The LA soccer team is, I want to say, the Galaxy. Nobody watches American soccer. Except for the couple months around the Olympics. Then we'll watch American soccer a little bit because we don't have a chance. Like, the notion of the American men winning a World Cup is something that we don't even take into consideration. It's just nice to show up and play the game with the other boys and have a good time. Would you like to take a guess as to where the wheelbase might fall? The measurements that you gave me for the bed of Jolly Green was on point, like perfect. Well, yeah, I walked out here I took one of these metal rules and I measured it.
Spot on.
The Oilers moved to Tennessee and became the Titans, and the Houston got the Texans. Yes. No. American soccer is what I call that wrong rugby that you lot play. Oh, no. Because you can't. Because we have American soccer here. It's called MLS, Major League Soccer. We have a whole thing. Didn't they just get Messi? Doesn't Lionel Messi play for, like, Miami? Like, doesn't that open us up a little bit to you foreigners? Called y'all foreigners. But we have American football, and American football is serious. How serious is it? We call it the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl. Only teams from America play in it. And if anybody else wanted to come and play in it, they could come and play in it, but they really don't. Probably because you'll end up with a CTE after one game.
It's like baseball.
Hey, Mr. C, I've seen a lot of Cat 700 series this week, and it got me thinking. 2 solid axles and an articulating chassis. I actually saw one on Instagram where somebody did it. Yeah, we'll watch American soccer until they lose in the first round. Robert S. has got it down absolutely. Absolutely perfect. I've been rewatching The Invitation. Have I seen The Invitation? Speaking of sports team, has anyone come close to being successful as our All Blacks? Over time, I don't think so. The rugby team from New Zealand. But I don't want to throw a burr under his saddle. Aren't they bad now? Didn't I see on the internet that they're not currently good? Niners ruined how Santa Clara runs, and I live a few blocks away from their stadium. Oh, yeah. I feel a deep sense of sorrow for anyone that has to live in any close proximity to a major sporting stadium in the United States, other than Wrigley Field in Chicago, or any of the new fields that have been kind of integrated that don't have a parking lot the size of... that don't have a parking lot the size of Neptune, because that's how most sports arenas are. Yes, we have the World Series for baseball, only in America. Hey, Toronto, don't forget Toronto. And if the Japanese got better, a little better, Japanese are close. They beat up on the Dodgers in the preseason pretty good. I would love to see baseball get more world in the series. What's American soccer? American soccer is just soccer. It's just soccer. What the rest of the world calls football. Oh, the invitational on your playlist. I do remember that. I made that. All the flooding going on in Texas is all the Cowboys fans crying that they didn't go to the Super Bowl.
Still?
I like seeing the women's soccer teams play the 12-year-old boys and lose 10-0. Yeah.
I thought our soccer team used to be good, the girls.
Oh, well, no. Any women's soccer team. You can take the Women's World Cup champion soccer team and have them go play against a men's pickup league from... I'm going to make up a British place that's kind of insulting. That's from East Broomwickshire, and they'll just get mopped by, like, dudes that just got off work down at the accounting firm. Yeah. And when they play against an actual team... I saw a group. Did you see the one where it was a group of women that played against like 4 retired major, like Europe, the big cup soccer players? And they were just, it looked like beating on children. It was embarrassing. And these guys were like 40.
A team versus just 4 guys.
Yeah, just romping them. They were triple teaming them and it didn't matter.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. 3 miles from the Cardinals Stadium. I don't know. How does that, like, what's it like? What is that like? I've only been to St. Louis once in my life. I went up the thing in the arch.
I've seen the arches.
I have 2 Tonka Winnebagos so I can make an RC. I also have 4 Tonka Big Dukes so I can put a good one together and mount it to an RC frame. Do it! The All Blacks are the most successful sports team of any sports team from any country in the history of the planet. Well, I don't want to go. I mean, no disrespect to New Zealand, but we are talking. And again, I mean no disrespect to anyone. We are talking about rugby. Okay,
Rugby's rough.
It is rough, but I don't even know how many teams play in the divisions. And what's his name? Jordan Mailata, that came, was a rugby player, and then he plays for the Philadelphia Eagles. And they asked him, he was doing one of the interviews, and they said, which is tougher, rugby or American football? And he said, American football by a lot. And he goes, it's not about the pads, it's not about any of that. He goes, it's about the fact that the guy across from you weighs 350 pounds, runs the 40-yard dash in under 5 seconds, and will hit you as hard as he physically can over and over and over again. He said playing in the NFL is like being in 20 car wrecks in the span of 2 hours. And we all know that the NFL, I had forecast several years back that within 25 years, the NFL would be done, because the brains of all of the players would have turned to pudding, because the rate of concussions that's happening. What was it? They go back in history and they're talking like in 1990, there was a dozen dudes that played in the NFL that weighed 300 pounds. Now the average offensive lineman is like 350 pounds. These guys are mountains. They are unbelievably huge. And I don't understand how soccer players can run up and down that gargantuan field for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, the NFL rule set is obscene and insane. Like I say, I was a basketball fan for a short period through the 80s and the 1990s because Michael Jordan was the Michael Jordan era. And coinciding with the Michael Jordan era was Shaquille O'Neal and the mailman, Karl Malone. And it was the kind of golden era of basketball as far as I'm concerned. I'm not here to watch the three-point game that they play now. And then hockey, I was a Blackhawks fan back when they were in old Blackhawks Stadium, and they would blow off the foghorn whenever a goal was sounded. It's like sports lately have really
lost tradition.
They've lost tradition. They've tamed them down. Dragsters only go 1,000 feet. The top fuels and the funny cars only go 1,000 feet. They don't let them go a quarter of a mile anymore because it'll be too dangerous. Racing is supposed to be dangerous. If there's something that other countries have on us over America, it's things like the Isle of Man TT, right? Somebody dies every year. And that is because that race remains unadulterated, right? This year's Monaco Grand Prix in F1, there were no lead changes. The car that started in the beginning won the race. In a typical NASCAR race, the lead will change 40 times and there'll be 10 wrecks. That's what we're here for. And then also when they neutered F1 cars peaked in the early 1990s in the Senna era.
Yeah.
Screaming, and now they're like, wee.
I watched the electric one once.
Racing is supposed to be dangerous. If anybody have watched it, for about 5 seconds, they tried to make drone racing a thing, right? They were like, drone racing is going to be the next big thing. And I'm like, no, it's not. There's absolutely no danger in it. There's nothing that can happen. I would rather watch those Saudis and the Emiratis race camels that don't even have jockeys. They just have a DeWalt drill on their back that slaps the camel and makes it run faster. I would rather watch that than watch drone racing. Unless you're putting the dude in the drone, it's never going to hold that impact. You know, nothing can happen to anyone unless maybe they hook up some sort of like taser equipment to the guys. Like in the one hand you have drone racing, and then on the other hand you have Red Bull Air Race, which is dudes pulling 11 Gs in these carbon fiber propeller driven planes 200 feet off the ground. You're not bailing out, right? These guys, there's nowhere to bail out. Like if you crash, you're probably going to die. And to many of us, and I think to most people, that's part of what racing is. There's the thrill and the risk associated with it. They have to nerf all the NASCARs to the point where no one can get hurt. Yeah. The best era of F1 is when they had V12s in the cars. Yeah. More than what they got now. And no curbs or whatever it's called. I stumbled across Saudi camel racing, and that stuff is kind of hype. It's crazy. Also, those dudes that Dubai, the sand drags where they go up that dune in those, they got like a Nissan Patrol that makes 2,000 horsepower. These guys are nuts. They have all the money and no oversight. Nobody to tell them no. It's amazing.
Well, I mean, you go to any dunes, there's a hill everyone races on.
Yeah, but not in a Nissan SUV with a 2,000 horsepower nitro engine in it.
There are some powerful rigs that go out there.
So what was your can't pass up Prime Day purchase? They were selling the Ovonic, which is just the clone of the Genzace 3800s. They were selling these for $13. I bought a handful of them. Other than that, I don't think... I bought a couple sets of wheels. I had noticed that the AMK double cardons came back and said... They just call them two joints. The double cardons came back in stock for $15. So I bought a couple. I gotta give it to you, Mike Cross. That is the craziest spelling of Philistines I've ever seen. Baseball, basketball, soccer, football, gold, they all take one ball. Racing takes two. The Thai crazy little diesel flatboats. Dude. Doing like 60 miles an hour. You're right. The TT with over 200 deaths since it started in 1907. Yeah, at least it averages almost 2 people a year. Yeah, those Thai longboat races are pretty nuts. And I do love Monster Jam. For all of you who have never gotten to experience Monster Jam, it's worth it. It is like, if you want to know all of America, if you want to hear the sound of a screeching eagle inside your head, just go and watch Monster Jam.
Make sure it's the Monster Jam and not the NXT one.
Yes, no, it has to be it has to be Monster Jam. It has to be the real one. We went and saw Monster Jam at now gone Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. It was insane. It was so long ago that what's his name, Dennis Anderson, the Gravedigger. It was still him. It wasn't even his son. So
He's got a new truck called the Fling King, but
this is probably 20 plus years ago.
He's not on the circuit anymore.
I mean, the stadium we saw it in, they tore it down now. And those boats do 100 miles an hour. Nope. Yes. What are you putting together? It is a kit crawler.
See, every 5 minutes.
Every 5 minutes. KITT. Kit crawlers. He's at work right now, so he doesn't get to watch me build it. Any Top Fuel event nowadays is bonkers. Yeah. And make sure it's Monster Jam at a stadium and not just an arena. Yes. It does need to be a stadium. The thought balloon over a Horizon executive of a rock crawler equals monster truck. Yeah. Do they not call it Qualcomm Stadium anymore? I know Jack Murphy was the old... Oh, no, they tore Jack Murphy down. They play in Petco Park, which is all the way out on the end of the peninsula. My buddy worked the crew that helped crush Jack Murphy Stadium. And you know how I have that sign out on the course that says excessive slope? That was because some of the parking lots, Jack Murphy was wedged up against a hill. And some of the parking lot approaches were like 40 degrees. Like you couldn't even get a truck up them. So they said excessive slope on the thing, and that's where those signs are from. That's a fun fact for you. No, Jack Murphy is definitely gone. Start saying the rig on the bench is what you got in Truck of Fortune. On it. On it. Yes. Big America. That dude drives those Losi LMTs, and I swear to God, when you first see him, for a split second, you think it's real. Because he syncs up the engine noises just perfect, and he does like grinds and rail slides and backflips with it and stuff, and you're like, that's amazing! And then you go, wait a minute. When you see it from the bottom, you're like, wait a minute. That's a damn Losi. Jack Murphy Stadium was the easiest stadium to get into and out of. The freeway went right into it. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. The problem is now they play in Petco down on the peninsula, and I would rather eat barnacles than drive to Petco Park in San Diego. San Diego was designed by lunatics.
Just like San Francisco.
San Diego looked at France and was like, you know what? We can make it even more ridiculous than that. We're going to make it to where no two roads intersect at a 90-degree angle. Yep. We're going to make it such that every other street, at minimum, is one way. We're going to put islands or dividers in the middle of every street. So if you miss your turn, may God have mercy on your soul. And then also we're going to put it in it's like a funnel. It's like a funnel that just points you to downtown. And then everybody tries to get out at the same time, and it doesn't work. It's also, if you're on the 5 going down there and your sister-in-law lives in Vista but still calls it, oh yes, we live in San Diego. No, you live in Vista. I call Vista South Paris, and I mean that Perris. It's the exact same climate as Paris. You cannot claim that you live in San Diego. I will go one step further as a desert dweller and say, you can't claim you live in an ocean city unless you can see the damn ocean. So you get on the road to Vista, and there's like one off-ramp that goes into Vista. And if you miss it, congratulations, you're in Mexico. There isn't even anywhere to turn around. Vista. Vista. Tui. Petco does need one of those Neptune-sized parking lots. My wife did the 3-day walk for breast cancer, where they walk 20 miles a day. If you can see the beach, yeah, that counts.
Beach is ocean.
Hey, Sputter with 5! Yeah, beach counts. Need some shorter shorts. Frankie Mavery, what's left over is just the ass. And more beach and more. Oh, I just saw the AZ in his name. Doesn't count. You don't have an ocean in Arizona. You just have sand and rocks. And then behind the sand and rocks is more sand and rocks. I've been to Arizona.
Some sort of lake or river.
Some sort of man-made lake that was made out of the river. I know how Arizona works.
It's hot. We need a lake. We will build one.
No water for 100 miles. But you Arizonians, you got away from the humidity. You do have the haboob, which I just like to say.
What humidity is?
No, they get those full-on sandstorms. The haboobs. I think some places call them like zephyrs. It's not as cool. Haboob is a great name for a wall of sand that wants to blow your trampoline one county over.
Like a hurricane. Not hurricane, but tornado.
Rockwolf Designs is in the mythical land of Mythigan, which doesn't exist. Because wedged up there among the Great Lakes, Mythigan can experience all weather conditions simultaneously. It will be 100 degrees in a tornado, and if you look out off in the distance, it's snowing.
Turn the other way. And
yeah, it's snowing over there. Yeah. I can see the James River where I live. Does that count? I don't know.
Next to a creek.
I don't know if it does.
Walking distance to the Santa Ana that goes to the beach.
Yeah, but this is a desert by actual definition. Like, we have those minimum days of precipitation.
Yeah.
And then, what was it, last year we got 9 inches of rain. Google Earth shows Jack Murphy is still there. Yeah, it got knocked, I want to say it got knocked down a couple of years ago. Because that sign has been out there.
Quite some time.
Some time. The last freestanding section of Jack Murphy Stadium fell on March 22nd, 2021. It's been gone for 4 years.
Need to update.
That is crazy. We don't have sand in Arizona. It's worse than sand. It's all dust. Ooh, so what kit is that? This was Trucks of Fortune. Trucks of Fortune 2025. These stupid axles want nothing but 18mm screws, and you heard me lamenting that I'm running out of 18mm screws.
Oh no, that's 27.
Like the lowers, the links. I've gone through half of my supply of M3 by 18s. I'm just gonna have to pony up. I don't want to. I have an artisanal well on my property. Water just bubbles up out of the ground. Cool! Never seen snow in summer. Rarely hits 100. Has been in the 90s, but it's cooling. Yeah, but that's Mythigan 90.
Quit flexing.
Mythigan 90 is rough compared to, like, 90 here is a cakewalk.
Yeah.
Because it'll be 90 and 14% humidity. You Mythiganders will be able to, you could wave a squeegee through the air and the blade would be wet.
Well, that you got all that lake effect stuff.
The lake effect. Hot and snowing at the same time. Yeah, I'm not about it. We're too soft. Californians are soft.
We like to visit the snow. We don't want to live in it.
Yeah, we have snow near us. Our climate is what they call Mediterranean, despite the fact that where we are located, we are almost directly across latitude-wise from Fez, Morocco. Which I guess, Morocco is on the Mediterranean, so that counts. It doesn't help. It means it gets a good bit hotter than we would like it. But the most humid day you will see here when it's hot is around 40%. And that is thankfully few and far between. Because we would all die otherwise. Greg Heselton's been to Michigan once. Yeah. It's a crazy place. All the weather all at once. What size spacer am I going to need here? Pretty big. Probably like a 7. Here we go, plastic. I'm running out of metal spacers. I gotta order another bag of another K&K sack. Or I could stop being lazy and I could order the bag of K&K. I do not like.
Well, you need to make an Amazon order, not Amazon, Amazon order.
I already did it. But it doesn't, that won't eliminate, that was my first order of July, and then I looked at my watch and I was like, it's the 11th, idiot. So, yeah.
You're going to make another one, so.
We seldom drop into 70%. Yeah, but it doesn't get hot down there at all. You guys are right next to Antarctica. That's the New Zealand guy.
Nah.
They live in Middle Earth. So. With hobbits and dragons.
Land Rovers are.
And LC-80s and dragon eggs.
I can see.
Yeah. They live on a completely different planet. One of the guys that I've been a friend with on Facebook since the days of playing Mafia Wars moved from Canada, the Toronto area of Canada, to New Zealand. And needless to say, he's never going back to Canada. Who would? Who would trade New Zealand for Canada? No disrespect to Canadians, but just like, you guys live in you call it the Great White North yourselves.
But I know New Zealand's got those birds that'll rip your car apart. They'll like take the rubber gaskets out of your car. I don't know what kind of birds they are, but I've seen it.
Oh, the parrots?
On the internet, yeah.
Yeah. They will try to eat the roof of your car. They're up in the mountains, though. We're going middle. We're going middle. Yeah. I'm just tired of the axles flopping around. We'll We could just humidity is 100% here in Florida. I think it always is.
Yeah. I never want to live in Florida. Oh, wet.
Yeesh. The military guys are trading deployment stories. I ended up going a different way. I don't feel like I missed out. We can do enough trauma bonding. What do you think of the Mias Racing Capra 1.9 UTV isokinetic 3-section CVD portal? The Mias Capras are pretty much the best of the bunch. I prefer them over the Rhinos. I prefer them over any of the other options. The drawback to them is being that you generally have to order them directly from Mias, and it's going to take about a month for you to get them. 3 weeks if you're lucky. Also, if it comes down to a combat between the isokinetic and the double cardan, I'm going to take the double cardan 10 times out of 10. Because the isokinetic has these two thin little plates that tie the two joints together, and you can snap the hell out of those plates. Now, replacement parts are suitably inexpensive. I think that leak is getting worse. Wherever that big dumb thing is leaking from, I think it's getting worse. We're commiserating over poor life choices that we loved. Yeah. Very warm and humid here in England at the moment. Just looked at the thermometer, and it's 28, 82, but really humid. Not comfortable at all. Ah, you British people. 82 and humid. The Southerners are
degrees is 82.
Is 82.
That's...
They did a thing where they walked around London. They asked British people what temperature is it. Is it too uncomfortable? And one dude said 20, which I learned is 68 degrees.
Wow.
And I was like, only rich people set the air conditioning to 68 in their house. 68 outside? But the humidity. They've apparently never heard of the South, where you walk outside and your glasses fog up. But, by the same token, I think most people aren't readily aware of the vastness of the United States. Yeah. It's pretty vast. We have every condition. Do the English do humidity in weird numbers too? Pat House is not wrong. It's 82 is room temperature. We're up to 78 in here. So it's pretty cool. 68 is sweater weather. 68 is wonderful. American tourists here in London complain that the heat is worse over here. I don't know where they're from.
Probably somewhere that's not humid.
Yeah. Tried building the Wizard C2 out of stock. Which is crazy because someone on the Discord mentioned that the Wizard axles were available on AMain, and I ordered one instantaneously. Like, no hesitation. Because I've had a rear axle sitting here waiting for its partner for 6 months.
You got the Wizard one in March.
Remember, I put my pre-order in like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty close. Maybe a little high in the rear, but it has no sprung weight on it at all. Dustin Woodham with the 20 that we're going to have. I'm going to put a picture of it on the Discord because it's going to go like this. Killer Instinct, Chris Cord, Andrew Head. Pele is back on the members. Elevated Productions. I've seen so many of these names. Dana Surratt. Everyone in California when it gets hot, just open a window. Well, no, we can't quite go toe to toe with the lunatics from Arizona.
No.
But it definitely gets hot. It's real hot. Today, it's, oh man.
It was over 110.
It might be nearly 20 degrees cooler today than it was yesterday. Yesterday was smoking. I'm not upset. And we're on a cooling trend, which means I'll be able to get some course maintenance done. Well, I say that now. Yeah, Ed isn't here today. You know what it's like to be cold on the hottest day of the year as a metal-pouring slag jockey. Mm-mm. No thank you. We used to watch the glass blowers and just be like, nope. Standing in front of a furnace melting glass. 10! Robert S. with 10. It's... I feel like there's a pattern. I feel like it pulls from a pattern. Those Pat House is operating on a different level to the rest of us. Those Vitavon SCX6 axles for $750 a set look real tempting. That's bona fide crazy talk.
What, another 700 and you get a whole new SCX6?
Sometimes they go on sale and you can get an SCX6 for about $750. I've seen it for $799. Yeah. But Vitavon is a whole thing.
Well, yes. I know it's a...
But come on, you get to stand in front of a glory hall all day and nobody can say anything about it. Glass blowers do have that going for them. Yeah. And people in the desert can talk about the weather because we have actual winter too. Sometimes we have no winter.
Sometimes it rains.
But sometimes we have actual winter. And there is as much, I will argue that there is every bit as much a difference in dry heat to wet heat. I don't want that wet heat. But we get dry cold. And it is brutal. We get that desert cold. It feels like it's carving right through you. I bet the sun today feels gross.
Not as bad as it was yesterday.
Not as bad as it was yesterday. It's like the sun moved farther back. It's going easy on us. I got tired of fighting. So we are putting on a wacky gearbox that's been in the drawer for some time because I didn't want to deal with fitment issues. I didn't want to have super bendy links mounted to the outside of the chassis. So my first instinct, my first, what I tried first was Mia's underdrive box. It was not cooperating with link mounting positions. Oh, this is going to be fine. That's a pretty fair, that's a fair, decent amount of travel. Now, what I do see is that we are off to one side by a lot.
Huh.
We are off to one side to a lot to the point where I think I might have gotten one of these links a different length than the other one. That skid is touching that rail, and I can get my finger in right there. So that thing is way over to one side. What happened there? Good thing I only spent like 2.5 hours. Is the Cross RC military truck actually finished? It is waiting for me to build up the energy to assemble the wheels, which I would categorize as a triple F minus. If we were rating the wheels on, they would be in the hell dimension on the tier list, because as soon as you begin to tighten one screw, it will just squirt the entire rubber bead of the tire all the way out. They are basically on par with RC four-wheel drive wagons. I spent nearly 40 minutes attempting to mount one tire and then just gave up. That was so far over to one side, I was checking to make sure that I hadn't accidentally put it in the wrong hole. It is about, so that amount of distance was probably, we're just going to spin it. Just gonna spin it in, if we can find our spinner. It's got a wooden handle, there we go. That like that. That. Grab it. Oh, I did Prime Days treat myself to a new shock plier because I'd completely worn the other one out. With the jaw. Yeah, this is like my fourth one. They do not last.
Well, they are aluminum, squeezing harder than steel.
Yeah. The jaws right here, there's like little jaws. I will wear that into just one smooth V right there. In your opinion, does the Capra style rig ever need both four-wheel steer and dig? No. I had a guy try to convince me that you can use both. It's one or the other. If you want the simplicity, build the rig with dig. And if you want the four-wheel steer, build it with four-wheel steer. But I noticed, I learned this with Zoidberg, because Zoidberg initially had both. And I noted that if I had four-wheel steer, I was never using dig. Piece of leather and regular pliers equals shaft pliers. Yeah, these things are like $15. I'm not going to rip a shock shaft to shreds to save $15. It's one of the cheaper tools in the spacer. The spacer. It's one of the cheapest tools I have overall. I don't nickel and dime when it comes to tools, and that came from being a woodworker, not because woodworkers are snooty and they spend more money on things, and more along the lines of the cheap option for a table saw blade is like $70, and they go up to almost $200. Is it better to elevate from the skid or axles for storage? Shocks don't much care if they're assembled properly. Now, I should tell you what I'm talking about in case you didn't see it. Mr. C, is it better to elevate from the skid or the axles for storage? Curious as to whether or not it matters for the shocks to be compressed versus non-compressed. I think if they're going to be stored for a long period of time, I would go this route, like this, where you get yourself your yoga blocks and you put it right like this. I think that is probably the best method of like storage, right? Now the suspension is relaxed, nothing is compressed, the tires are up off of the surface. But that is not how most vehicles here are stored, because most things don't stay in any fixed position for any super extended period of time. This is the choice du jour. You take two pieces of the wood of your choice, piece of wood in the middle, there's 4 screws that hold it together. and you have what I call a skid, and you set the guy down like that. That's how I do it.
You slide him into the gear.
Yeah, because these are mounted down. There's ones above my head. There's ones over there. And so this is mounted up into a shelf, and you just slide these in like this. And I tailor them to different sizes. This one, as you can see, is not tailored to this vehicle because it is inside the C-hub there and it is past the C-hub there. This one was originally for Gumby. This one was for a Capra axle. But because it's held together with 4 screws, you take the screws off, you run that on the table saw, you make it a little narrower. They're all made out of scraps. It would work just fine on this one, but it's way too tall. It would keep almost any tire off. Yeah, or as Rice Krispie says, just buy the big pack of yoga blocks. I don't know if there's explicitly an advantage as long as the tires are off the ground. RC Everyday is currently building to me a 114 semi-trucks on his channel. I need one of those too. That's, what kind of scissors? Oh, scissors. Do you mean these? Hemostat? Forceps? You can get them really, really cheap on Amazon. Usually it'll be a 2-pack with the curved one and the straight ones. It costs about $5 for these off of Amazon. They're what I call fingies. And then my other set of fingies are these because my hands are too big. You've seen the bananas. So if I need to get a screw out of here, I just go like this. That's why I use these too. Because my fingers are too big. Ed Scrivener is here, but he is blocked from chat. Oh. Did you get those trucks disinfected? I did. When I take out the dig box, what is the lowest CG gearbox that easily fits the Capra cage skids? Well, you're going to want something that has outputs more towards the middle. But any of the LCG gearboxes, literally any of them, will work just fine. You're going to need an adapter plate. I know Vader makes one that is an adapter plate to just mount a 3-gear into a Capra skid. Any of them. Any of them that look like OD3 would work. Any of these the clone ones like this, that tall. OD3, if you want to have underdrive in the box. But any of the little LCG gearboxes will work just fine. Mr. Zoku. I sent their emails at the same time. Stealth and a Capra is a nice pairing, but it'll stop you from you won't be able to run the interior. What motor and transmission is that? This is that weird vertical gearbox. Like the sideways gearbox, but it's vertical. And then because I had nowhere else to put it, and I'm putting portals on it, it's a portal gearbox. This is the Furatech Dynamic 380 2000 kV, the little 380 size one. This rig is not going to be heavy at all. I need to make drive shafts for it. It's got the rest of its electronics sorted out. It's got I had traded out for a Reefs Raw 500 a couple months ago. Forgot about it. Put it in the wrong drawer. It was all the way at the back of a drawer, and I was like, oh, hey, there's that thing. There's the bed that's going to go on here, which I probably should have put on before I put the shocks on, but I didn't. We'll get that on there. Spacers. I'm going to go with a titanium bumper on the front instead of 3D printed because I will destroy a 3D printed bumper in about 5 minutes. We're going to get this guy up here like this. Do the body mount. Just like that. It's got little guys for it. We'll put screws through there. We have got FGM, R4 FGM, the little babby, R4 FGM babby, which will go on the same side with Rhino V80. This used to be in RoboKitty, but RoboKitty got swapped over to a Fusion 8, so I threw this in the back of the drawer and forgot that I had it. I was about ready to put a little secure Escape 3270 in there. And I was like, well, maybe we have something bigger, because I'm going to want to run a big BEC to run that Raw 500. I didn't really have any other intentions for it because I forgot that I had it. What rails are those? These came from the these came from the Trucks of Fortune. No, it's a kit crawler. Kit crawlers, KITT. There's our guy right there. We're well on our way. Look at that rear pinion angle. It's nearly very good. I would leave it as is. As long as the drive shaft is above the bend in the link, and it's got drabs on it, not chavs, drabs, the real deal. I have a drawer of drive shafts. I'm gonna try to put a drive shaft together here. It'll be fun. Any experience with Injora's various light kits? No. I bought a couple Injora light bars that were bagged in Injora packaging. I don't believe they actually make any of them. But in terms of if I'm buying lights, it's pretty much Mias. The Mias pod lights are outstanding. Are the 60 euro Outrunner combos for AliExpress any good? The 9 iMod one is fair. If you're talking about the ones that are on sale, that there was a Rhino V40 or it was an 80 with a Rhino crawler on sale, then yes, that is not just a good deal, that is a tremendous deal. So on a TRX4 Fusion Pro 2300, what size battery would give you about 30 minutes of runtime? Probably 2200. Oh, Pat House just said you could probably get away with a 2200. Yeah. Fusion Pro on a 4200 LAHV will go 4 miles, which will take just over an hour on a rig that weighs 14 pounds. So yeah, 2200 on a Fusion Pro will get you 30 minutes easily. I did my consumer duty and got the Glowback 80 3542 from Amazon. Do you have any idea how I could program the CSC? I think I programmed one. I had one. It left here in a giveaway rig, but I think it programs via a programmer and BL Heli Suite 1.82. I think you program it the same way you would program a Rhino. I think. It's been a hot minute, and I've programmed the one and have not programmed one since. Which is why mostly nowadays I'm buying Secures, because I can program it from my phone. We need extended 140 millimeters. This is a little short, but I don't think I can make it longer. I can. For a split second, I thought the universe was going to let me go free. Does rear axle caster angle make a difference in the propensity for the crawler to flip over? It was deleted, but yes. Yes. I think rear caster is something that is not taken into consideration nearly as often as it should be. Particularly in four-wheel steer applications, rear caster comes into play huge. You basically want to set your rear end up so that your caster in the rear changes as minimally as possible. Did you tell us the wheelbase? Lee Jordan says it looks about 280. That is a crazy optical illusion going on there. Because the wheelbase on this vehicle is... Sound the horn, everybody. Come on. I built the links this morning. You know exactly what the wheelbase is. I can't believe there was ever a question as to what the wheelbase was. 330 millimeters. I'm building a cab only, I don't see any reason why I wouldn't 330 it. I think I just pulled 2 drive shaft halves, and I think this might make, well, this is the longest Vanquish drive shaft you can make out of their parts. They're selling the 9i mod combo for $55 and the Fusion 1800 for $65. I would take the Fusion. Unless you have a fitment issue that specifically requires an outrunner, if given the choice between the two, take the Fusion. The Fusion is set it and forget it. If it does need some sort of programming, it's very easy to do and anyone can do it. Okay, that E-clip needs to go away. That's gone forever. As never was. Yeah, if you have the room to run a Fusion, do that. Would I replace all of my Outrunners with Fusions? No, I can't. But I definitely have more Fusions than Outrunners, because Outrunners tend to be the choice when they are the only choice. If you're running a stubby kit on a VFD, you don't have any choice. This thing might fit a full length. Like I could scooch the gearbox back, which I might do. I was leaving it a little bit forward, but I would like this drive shaft to have a bit more embedment, if I'm being honest. I don't like to have that much space. I don't know what happened to Ed Scrivener. They say he's here, but he can't chat. Usually, the only way that you can't chat is if you're not subscribed to the channel. Yeah. Because I'd considered looking at this, it's basically like one of those little mini low pro gearboxes. Yeah. I would go a millimeter or 2 longer just to angle that back a little bit. That's future me's problem. That's cleanup stuff. And we are in the phase where we are not worried about cleanup stuff. Front drive shaft. 195. Let's see how long the built one is. The built one is 92. Do you know what? Sounds pretty close. I don't even remember what these came off of. Future me can correct it. Yeah, this thing is going to be real light. Another E-clip. Oh, just landed on the bench. That one's fine. When I need lots of power, I cram a 3670, 41580, and 8S into a 10-scale truck. Oh, yeah. Sure. I mean, why not? 10 rigs, and I have not installed a brushless setup yet. Maybe you shouldn't start now. Yeah, but the listing on the... Oh, does anyone know if I can use a brush? Yes. Yes. Hobbywing uses one program card for the Quick Run series, and they used to, when you bought one, they would give you a sticker. So this is the same program card thrice. Like here's the brushed one. So there's the second page of the brush parameters, and there's the first page of the brush parameters. Here is one for an SE, and then there's the page for the brush parameters, because it came with a sticker, and you just stick this sticker over the first one. And it is the exact same thing for the Fusion Pro. They are all the same exact card, they just have a different sticker. So if they didn't give you stickers, you're either going to have to cut out a little cheat sheet for yourself or just have the manual ready. Personally, I've almost started to memorize what the parameters are. But yeah, laziness. Why do I have 5 program cards in one drawer? Because I don't want to have to memorize things or write things down. So I'll just use a different card. Yeah, I have an 18. Yeah, there are only 9 parameters for the SE, and there are 15 for the brushed, because the card shows the 15 for the brushed. A lot of them are the same. Some of them are not. But yeah, it's the same card. Need space for the interior because every crawler has to have a doll sitting there. The Nod 2 Gearbox and Outrunner space saving. Yeah. If there are absolutely reasons to run Outrunners, like right here, I contemplated, I thought, can I get the Fusion 1800 that I have in there? Maybe. But I was already messing with fitment, and I thought, I have no plans immediately or in the future to put this 2200 in anything else. So, where can I get a sticker? You send me an email, and I put some in an envelope, and I put your address on it, and I send it to your house. Or wherever you have me send it to. I don't know if it's your house. I don't know what you do. Okay, the front drive shaft is a little tougher to attach because it's directly under the motor. Yeah, courtesy of the good people of sheetlabels.com, I will continue to give away free stickers for the foreseeable future because the guy that was running the machine that day, that sticker. That sticker. Ooh, that's a good question. He means, I thought he meant my stickers. He means the sticker for the program card.
Yeah. Can you like scan it and email it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see. If I have one that hasn't been adhered to a card, I will I'll throw it in the scanner. And I'll scan it. And then you could just print one out on a piece of sticky back and slap it on there. Yeah. Yeah, he means program card sticker. Why doesn't the digital Hobbywing program card work on the G2 120 amp? I bought a one of those Hobbywing program cards and could not get it to program anything. I believe I gave it away somewhat recently. Because it'll work on the really expensive one that the drifters use. Max 10, DR10, one of those. It'll work on that one, so I gave it away. Can you fit double card into the Mias nylons? Not that I have found, because Mias nylons use the same kind of bow tie shaped input as Vanquish, because they use Vanquish gears, and there's really no double cardan option for Vanquish axles. There's no F10 double cardans. Hopefully, I mean, all they would have to change is the outermost portion. But, you know, who knows?
Just think of the price from Vanquish.
Just think of the Vanquish price on that. Who knows why they do any of what they do? It still looks like it's a little bit over there. That is also, well, I can tell you exactly.
Yep.
30. 26. Yeah.
Oh.
It is 2 millimeters pushed over to one side, which means one of the lower links is slightly longer than the other one. It would be this one. Left hand lower is ever so slightly longer than the other one. You could just use your phone and take a scan of the sticker where it gives you the option of photos. And then basically, oh yeah. A Battle Royale Limited Circuit provides oh, that's an answer to another question. I will send some SE program card stickers in the box with the canoe and the Collins Lady Friends so that you can send the person asking for them. All right, awesome. Yeah. Oh, Hizzy. Hiscock. Right. I get it now. I had not put that together. Yeah, I'm feeling a little thick right now. A little thick in the head. I would like to just use the existing links on the axle if I don't have to change them. A bit of toe out on that. Are you guys bashing the Glowback Days ESC? It's not great. For the front body mount you're using in the 3D printed pucks, you'll want to drill the 3D millimeter screws up from the bottom of the chassis first. Yeah. That's why I haven't screwed it in. It's like the Mias. You've recreated the Mias, the same one that comes on the Gold Rush. This axle has a little bit of toe out on it. We'll just give a little, maybe one turn will do it. Let's see. We'll probably end up remaking. Nope, still a little toed out. We'll probably end up making a new drag link. And if I feel real froggy, I'll make a new tie rod just so all the rod ends match. It's in a secure semi-air. Oh, okay. Yeah. So the Glowback Outrunners are just fine. Any of that style, where are they at? Where are you at? There you go. Any of this style of Outrunner, which has the noise velocity cannon on the back of it, any of this style, they're just fine. They're absolutely fine. And a lot of times you can get them for very cheap. But they're basically underpowered, particularly to like the 3625 Secure is every bit as powerful as one of these. And quicker to spool up because it's turning so much less mass. Now, if you were going to say that versus a Rhino S20, not even close. The S20 Rhino is an absolute mountain of torque. You could move 10-pound rig with this, no problem. Yes, and as Jeff at the Temple points out, if you have this anywhere, replace it with literally anything. Whatever Outrunner you can get your hands on. An old drone motor, it doesn't matter. Replace this. Because it made the 9-imod combo look like it was just not working. And then I believe I swapped in that exact... Was that also a 9-imod? I swapped in this other 9-imod, and the difference in output was incredible. I had thought that the ESC was genuinely underpowered and it was not working correctly, but it turns out no. It was actually that the motor apparently doesn't know how to generate torque. Now, there was a longer than a short while where they were selling the combo for less than the ESC by itself. Worse than a Reedy. That 9-imod red can Outrunner is basically Reedy level. Which I know is saying a lot. Yeah, the Secure is the new deal. Wi-Fi programming is the deal. Damn it. Damn it. I looked up at the exact wrong moment. Right as the bottle of water touched my lips, I read Mr. Woodham say, "As you know, I'm suckered for overpriced things, and I got 2 more trucks of fortune. So when my 5th and 6th optic come in, maybe I'll be able to sell them all and finally get an OG VS410 Origin." I actually choked. The Origins, like from the old Pro Ultra era, they were true trail trucks that would crawl, right? The new VS410 based stuff is not entirely that far removed. You can basically build a Pro or Ultra from parts today, but you're talking about an Origin. You're talking about the real deal. 6 optics for an Origin. I mean, you know how I roll. That seems like a pretty good deal. But hey, maybe your time will have come. Maybe your time will have come, and they will finally stop giving you optics. Though, while looking through the Facebook group, they gave away a lot of optics. What were the 3D printed inserts that were in the Baja MTZs that left with middle school desks? Someone had printed up a set of inserts that were, without contest, the softest 3D printed insert I'd ever encountered. They basically collapsed under their own weight. And I had never found anything that they would fit in even remotely. Like, I mean, in terms of providing enough support for the vehicle to move. They just overbagged and rolled over. And then I was like, you know what? We'll try them in these Bajas. And we'll put them on middle school desk and we'll give it a try. And they were really good. Really, really good. It was one of those complete coincidences. I don't know where the inserts came from. I desperately did not want to part with them, but then I was like, it's the only thing that they work on. Like, I feel like we're taking away an integral part of the performance of that vehicle if it doesn't come with these inserts. So away the inserts went. It's funny how everybody was quick to buy them from Vanquish, but they're not really selling on the second-hand market. Yeah. Surpass Rocket Plus V2 are the best brush 540. 100%. It's not even close. The Rocket V2, well, the one you can't buy anymore. The Surpass Rocket Plus V2 540 4-pole, the one that came in the black chrome can, was the best one. But it is incrementally better than the gold can Surpass or the blue can NHX. The blue can NHX is basically indistinguishable from the gold can, and it's getting more and more difficult to find the gold cans when you can just order the blue cans off of Amazon from like Sunset Retail at will for $40. And if you're going to drop money on a brushed motor, acknowledging that you're doing your part to keep the past alive, then just buy one of the NHX Momentums. It's the same motor, same as the gold. It's a 2-pole. The 4-pole was next level, but all good things must come to an end. What does that tell you? Optics not selling well? Yeah.
Why do you think they gave so many away?
What was the bad part of the Copperhead 10 combo? The motor of the CS, because I'm trying to figure out what the weak link is. It's mostly the ESC, and then the rest of the problem is the motor. For whatever reason, I don't know what sort of wizardry, what do you call negative wizardry? I don't know what kind of negative wizardry goes on, but those Castle 1406 and 1410 motors produce less torque. Like, their ability to hold isn't there. And I think why that is those motors originally come from high winders, man. Like we were doing speed runs on Castle 1406s. Like when they came in 5700 kV, 7000 kV, those things would wind. You had to put ceramic bearings in them because those motors could hit 100,000 RPM. Castle can't make drag brake. Castle makes fantastic stuff for bashing. Mamba, what is it? Mamba X? So good. Oh my God. You can take a Mamba X, pipe 4S or 6S into it with a motor the size of a Red Bull can. And that speed control's like, let's do this. Let's go. The only problem with the Castle Mamba like that is that a Hobby Wing Max 6 or Max 8 is half the cost and will perform just about the same. So Hobby Wing came in and just muscled their way into the category. When that tightens down, is it going to hit? No. What? It's going to hit a little. It's going to hit a little. Let's see. Yeah. It's fixable. It's fixable. It's not wizardry, it's technomancy. That's right. I don't know what sort of ribble-frabble show this is. This is nonsense is what this is. This is nonsense headquarters. Oh my God! I need to take a break. Do-do-ba-do-do, do-boo-do-do. I'm going to move that. No, I'm going to move this right here. I just remembered I have a big-ass box. I have a big-ass box, and it's filled me with rage and fury. Okay, this is not an unboxing, but it sort of is. Let's see, have you done Wiring 101 for Dummies? I want to think you have. I get lost when it comes to out-of-winch accessories adapters. I mean, to a degree. What are we building? Vanquish Trucks of Fortune. Ooh, this box is like damp from this cooler blowing on it. This box has lost a significant amount of its structural integrity. Any preference in Rhino S12 versus Secure 3625? I buy the Secure 3625s out of economy. If I'm buying it specifically for a build, like I keep at least one 3625 on hand from Secure, if just to use to set a rig up. Because 1800 is the starting point, right? Put that Secure 3625 1800 in there. Is it not as fast as you want it? Is it too fast? And then adjust accordingly. I will put an S12 or an S20 in it. If the rig is guaranteed to weigh less than 7 pounds RTR, it's going to get an S12. If it's going to weigh more, like if it's got stuff on it, if it's Phoenix-based, so it's got a twin, anything like that, I'm going to put an S20 in it. Yeah, nobody sent me minis, but, okay. So this is the last gasp for, like, everything in this box. Anything in this box that doesn't get claimed by someone and sent out of this building in a different box within the next 96 hours or so, donezo. So, most of what is in this box was sent in by other people or that I bought for tests and then tested it, or sent in out of the kindness of people and then I don't have a use for it. So this becomes the clearinghouse. What we do is we charge the cost of shipping, and if you want to throw a couple bucks this way, it does help keep the lights on. I can't really make that kind of a claim today because we've probably had like 60 gifted memberships, and that definitely helps. But I will say this, the revenue for the month of June, which I will receive 10 days from today, was 40% less than the revenue that I got on the 21st of last month. It dropped. We're not making any big buys. MKRC says, he's going to take it all, not even knowing what it is. Brand new. They might have touched the ground twice. Trail burners. Mr. Truitt just recently dropped these off. I just unmounted them. If you want a set of wheels to put them on, I think these are like DJX from Amazon. They have an oversized flat ring and they're narrows. I don't use the narrows a lot. In terms of wheels, deep They call them yellow. They're actually, I mean, that's pretty yellow, kind of goldy. There may or may not be hardware in these, but they do have hubs. They are as they come. It isn't my stuff, is it? No, it's not Splitter Color stuff. Same rims, but black. I went on a spree of buying these same rims, but white. This one definitely does have hardware. I can fill the screws. You get what you get. In my hand are 3 Fly Sky receivers. They go with this Fly Sky FS3 GT3B. That's hard to say. GT3B. 3 receivers. I have... Is this Red Cat? Is this the, what is it, XR247? XR247 rear axle. No idea where the front axle is. I think I scavenged the parts to fix the Marksman. Is this an AR-60? I don't even know what this is. I don't know how I got it. It's just here. I have 2 giant rear axles and no front axles to go with them. Don't even know where they came from. Do you have a Stampede, Gorgon, anything along those lines? Set of 4. They're kind of nameless. They're foamed. They're glued. They're vented. They have the same off. They have a narrow. So these were on a Stampede. We got the thick hex on this one and then the shallow on that one because, you know, the Traxxas are different. They've been rattling around in a box for entirely too long now, and the last one is right here. We've got someone again sent in the fake BF Goodrich KM3s. Here are 3 of them. There's a 4th one in the thing. Did I hear the Starsky? They sent these in. I have definitely tested these already. They're on the database. And I'm looking for the 4th one. It's very shiny. Scooching. A second set, if you'll believe it. Wait, I'm accumulating. There's 3. A second set of Trial Trail Burners. They were all the way in the back of the map case. I didn't even know they were still in there. I tried to give these away in the last time I was giving stuff away. I don't even know how fast this goes. You know the rules. You send me an email. I send you an email back. Mix Racing Off-Road. What did we say? They were like Nexon Rhodians. RC 4-wheel drive Compass. I think somebody said that they were basically clones of the Compass. Tried to give them away once before. Nobody said anything about them. Also in the back of the map drawers, I know someone had expressed interest in these before. The ones that look like Formula Off-Road. Little shallow Formula Off-Roads. I don't have an application. 2 Mudslingers of the extremely fake variety. Starsky? Too slippery. Wait. Yeah, it's good stuff. The Monster Pin Spikes, which did not have usable foams. Again, if you have a Gorgon or something. I don't know. I thought would be claimed and were not. Class 1 Showdowns, still here with foams in them. I really do not want to put these in the tire pit, but I will. These are most likely fake because the compound feels like rock. These were given to me by a gentleman about 2 years ago. These are deluxe goats, but maybe aren't. They Starsky. So who knows on those? RC four-wheel drive, BF Goodrich mud terrains. These are the wide boys. These are the wide boys that come on the Scottsdale. Oh yeah, anybody who wants this stuff sent to... Now, Mr. Hizzy over there, I know wants the FJ parts. So me and he might be able to work something out if he wants a set of tires shipped to the UK, because I'm not opposed. He sends stuff this way. I'm not opposed to sending some stuff back. And I have no use of the additional parts that were removed off of Nigel. I've got his roof, doors, the jump seats from the back. I have a bunch of parts. And I can take the little screws out and strip those down all real flat. And then the last thing in here is an RC6 GS. Please do take into account that this is an RC6 GS, not a V2, not a V3. I will throw in a receiver with it. The trigger feels different. The wheel feels different. I had never in my life seen an RC6 GS non-V2, V3. Like, we still have a couple V2s here, and we have a mostly V3s here, but I had never seen one. I will locate a battery tray if anybody takes it, because we mostly just cut the battery leads off of them and throw them away. I do not know the case, the condition, the health, the mental well-being. I know nothing about that Fly Sky. We don't operate a single Fly Sky radio here. Not one. So, there you go. There's the... Look at this. Look at that. How about look at this with your eyes, and then look over there. Yeah, the monster pins would definitely fit a monster beetle. Organized Chaos said the thing that I didn't say, which I should have said. YouTube name, your name, address, and what you want specifically. 1,000%. Because I get emails that, and yes, if you find that this stings when I say it, you need be stung, which is I get an email that says, I'm interested in those tires from the live stream. And that is the total of information provided. And at that moment, I feel like my buddy who for a short time worked at the local Home Depot, and a woman walked up to him, and mind you, we will substitute those people with tires. This is my associate. This is the woman in question. So this is my buddy, and this is the woman. And this is not just a display, but the entire rack full of lattice. And the woman comes to him. Mind you, he is here facing this way, and she is here facing this way. And she says to him, "Excuse me, sir, can you tell me where to find the lattice?" And this is her, and this is him, and this is the lattice. Like, he goes, I thought I was being trolled. Like, I thought she was messing with me. So I get an email that says, I'm interested in the tires from the live stream. Unless you're MKRC Builds, who says he will take everything that I try to give away, I just assume, what? And I don't want to get into a back and forth of, well, how about this, and how about that, and how about this, and how about that. You tell me where you live, you tell me what you want, and then we go on from there. Because I do my very best to operate in a first come, first served thing, because I will get emails 72 hours from now where people are like, oh, I'm interested in these. And I'm like, guy, people email 10 seconds after I say that I'm giving it away. So if you're viewing this on any day other than a Friday, and it's not about 2:30 p.m. Pacific, the thing you're asking about is probably long gone. Now we're just going to dump everything. Because I just sorted it all. Let's unsort it.
That's future Seth's problem.
That's future me's problem. I'll deal with that later. And the tire bins remain full. To the top. These are the tires that basically won't fit in the bins. And last week, was it last week? Last time I gave tires away, MKRC Builds was quick. He was Quick Draw McGraw. And that email, like I looked at the emails, it was the first non-spam email I'd received that day. Oh, Sloth Squatch is interested in one of the cheeseburgers. Just wait till you get Hate Burger one day. Then you'll really be interested in one of the cheeseburgers. If you go ahead and send 15 to 20 bucks to his PayPal, it'll have all your info and it'll say what you want. It'll streamline it. Man, Organized Chaos is looking for a job. Because they're saying all the things that I should be thinking, but am not.
You should give them your email as well.
I'm getting a stitch in my side.
Everyone knows.
If you don't know the email,
I don't know the fucking email.
I'm not here to help you.
I was Crawler Canyon at something.
Gmail! You don't know that the email address is crawlercanyon@gmail.
I might know now.
You'll have forgotten it by the time I exhale.
Say it, don't spray it.
Oh, I'm going to spray it.
I'll go eat some garlic.
Oh, my God. This guy, let me tell you something. I wish all the time that we had smell-o-vision for when we go trailing so that you could all truly savor in the odors of the oxidizing algae. But I wish you could have it for when this guy over here, we go to a place called the Blazing Claw, and it just turns you into an animal, and you get a giant sack of shrimp. And he said, just butter and garlic?
Well, it's either butter garlic or butter garlic and lemon pepper.
Okay, so he just got the butter garlic shrimp. Let me tell you something. This proto-human over here burped
After I ate dinner.
after he ate dinner. So like 7 hours later. I don't mean the scent of garlic. I mean, imagine if someone came up, stood right next to you. Here's you, and they stand right here. They take a clove of garlic and just smash it with a hammer, and then they exhale across it right into your face. His burps were just garlic. He had eaten since the garlic. The garlic was punching its way through and just hitting full strength. Just full strength. It was unbelievable, honestly. And I told him he's not allowed to eat garlic shrimp anymore. That's not going to stop him.
Nope.
He loves shrimp. If you take the blind man to any restaurant, pick your restaurant, any restaurant, that dude will find the shrimp. He found the shrimp at the Mexican restaurant, and the shrimp was in Spanish.
Sure. I know it's Cameroons.
Camarones. Of course an 8 is too long. Why wouldn't an 8 be too long? It'd be crazy if an 8 wasn't too long. I don't like it when you can smell someone's insides. It wasn't even insides. It was just garlic. Straight garlic. It made no sense. Like you would think. You would hope, I guess.
There'd be some shrimp.
There'd be some shrimp on it. Just a little whiff of the sea. No. Garlic. And ever since I lost carbonation, I think I burp like 4 times a day. Maybe. And it's usually like if I gulp water too fast. Like, I don't burp anymore. Don't drink carbonated beverages, people. Put down your sodas. Put down your adult sodas. I don't really care. You can drink whatever you want. But you know how those people would like crusade? They'd go on a crusade. It's almost like vegans. They would like they would like crusade to get, oh no, you have to stop eating that or drinking that. And I'm like, you can go eat a whole bag, lady. I'm going to eat what I want and drink what I want. Soda was unceremoniously ripped from me. One day I was drinking soda, and then the next day I never got to drink soda again. Right? It's rough. It's rough. I am now far enough into the future where I don't even miss it anymore. Sometime in the summer, I get a frozen Coke Slurpee, to get a little bit of flavor, because I drink water all day, every day. Usually in the summer, I will drink 5 or 6 of these a day. So I'm doing 5 to 6 liters of water a day, and that's about all I drink. I get a cup of tea, like I'm British, first thing in the morning. It's got milk, sugar, and I'm a PG Tips Gold man. I've tried Yorkshire Gold, I've tried them all. It's PG Tips. And other than that, I just drink water all day. Weak tea and cucumber sandwiches. Wasn't it how you machined an aluminum pin for the H10 optic door retaining solution? Wasn't how I did it. I did do that. I do a lot of water and diet Dr. Pepper. I can't do diet. I have that, you know how they say that there people have that thing about cilantro where it makes it taste like soap? Thankfully, I don't have that thing. But what I do have is if something has sugar alcohols in it, so any of the fake sugars, phenylalanine, all of the, NutraSweet, sucralose, any of them, it's all I can taste. It coats the inside of my mouth, and it tastes like something that comes from, like a machine lubricant. I do not like it. Like, it has a real VOC thing to it, where like, you spray some sort of cleaner or lacquer, and there's that little hint of sweet in the air after the main smell is gone. So most of it's gone. There's just this lingering little bit. That is in my mouth if I drink anything with fake sugar. Aspartame, any of them. Splenda, NutraSweet, any of them. If it says sugar-free or no sugar added, I cannot do it. Because the flavor just coats the inside of my mouth, and I can't handle it. Also, sugar, if taken in an amount that would be determined to be moderate, sugar is just fine.
Sugar. It's high fructose corn syrup.
Yes, it is high fructose corn syrup, which is doing us all in. It's splitting all of our fat cells in half. Sugar is great. I love sugar. Don't take sugar away from me. And I say that pleadingly. Please don't take my sugar away from me. Please, I need me sugars. If not for sugar, what point living? He asks. I know it's probably a little early to put the bumper on, but the servo's sitting down so low, I think we can honestly get away with it. We're going to build a thing here. I do have to fire up the soldering iron to solder the Rhino to the dynamic. I keep wanting to say dynamite. Rhino-mite! The best is pure cane sugar. Yeah. No, Hugo has not been here today. The Spaniard has abandoned us. And he was on the Discord like this morning, like a couple hours ago. So we're going to ask for, we're going to demand an explanation. Is it not bad enough that he never works on the website? I don't care. I genuinely, and I mean this when I say it, I forget the website exists until I get my thing once a month that says we're going to deduct $4.48 from your account for the web for owning the domain or whatever. I'm like, I don't care. I mean, revenue is down, but revenue is not. I can't afford $448 a month down. That's right. That's right. You might have fallen asleep. It is late over there. Yeah. But he's so young.
He got involved in tapas.
Yeah. What if he met? Ooh, let's all make up our own fan theories for where Hugo went. Hugo.
He met a girl eating tapas.
He went out to get tapas and he met a lady, a young Spanish señorita, and she was like,
You like tapas?
she was like, oh, you like tapas? And he was like, I work for L'Oreal, and she was like, take me in your arms. Beso mi mucho. That was horribly stereotypicalized, was it not? He won't know. If he watches this back later, it will bring me great joy. Hopefully it's not an online girl. Those aren't girls. My eldest met a girl named Savannah that lives down in the LA area, and for the first 6 months, oh, don't the Spanish sleep like 23 hours a day? Whoo! He got grounded because he didn't finish his tapas. Hugo got gored by a bull today. We have no overwhelming stereotypes about Spain. Nothing. We're all fair, honest, and even people.
Yeah, one of the bulls escaped the arena.
Little bed slaps running here. It's got little 3D printed little pinleys that are in the back holes here. Little pinleys. That is 7. Yeah, probably a 10. Ooh. Could do some washers. Could do some washers. Look at some washers. Do some washers. He's fallen in love with his Chat GPT girlfriend. The aluminum bed has been attached to my Jolly Green. Nice. Hugo still needs to host those link tool files on the website. Yeah, he does. He got drunk drinking from a leather skin.
This sack of wine.
And he was talking about how the vino. Oh, the vino! I can't. It makes him do the crazy things. Crazy! It's a good thing we don't have any stereotypes about Spain.
Or any other country.
Did you chase a tail around at the Expo? No. I do have a fond memory of how incredibly sweaty that one furry was. She had her head off, and she was just drenched in sweat. Because in their infinite wisdom, there's not much ventilation in the costume, and in their infinite wisdom, they hold Anime Expo in the first weekend in July in Southern California.
As long as you don't leave the inside, you're fine. What
bed is that? Vanquish Trucks of Fortune. All of the bits that you see going on the chassis, aside from the bumper, are from the kit crawler. So the bed is part of it. So it even says, is that KKV? Can't see it on that one. You see it on that one? No, you can't see it on that one either. Can you see it on this one? Can't see it on that one either. Why can't you see black on black? I don't understand. Why, if I write black on something that's black, why can no one read it? What's the story behind the sun's? Oh, so Savannah. I thought Savannah was a catfish for like 6 months. And then he wanted to go to one day of Anime Expo, so I didn't get to go to that day. But I saw a photograph, and in the photograph, there she was. And the wife said, she's very polite. And I was like, that's good to know. And he went Sunday this year because the wife went all 4 days and is now deeply regretting it. She's having like delayed onset exhaustion. Savannah was there again this year. That was why the boy had to go on the 4th day, when ordinarily the wife would have just been sleeping all day. That was a 20.
So she went to Anime Expo?
Yeah, she lives in LA.
I figured you had to buy tickets like early in advance.
You do, but a lot of people buy single day tickets. So she bought a ticket just for Sunday, which is not economical. They're like $85.
Yeah.
Everybody is now making fun of the trucks of fortune. Anybody watch the video Exo Cage did live? I did. It's I want to see if I'm getting the word right.
Awesome.
Does it have a pronunciation? Yeah, okay, here we go. I can't do justice to the German.
Schadenfreude.
Yeah. The entirety of Trucks of Fortune is deep Schadenfreude, which, for those who don't know the German, pleasure derived by someone from another person's misfortune. That is the definition, and literally that's from dictionary.com. That is the dictionary definition of 2025 Trucks of Fortune. On the one hand, you have people doing their very best to try to convince themselves that they got the deal that they wanted. And then you have that 15-minute exposition of wonder, which was on Exocage Live, where he is completely incapable of faking it. Like, he looks like he's there under duress. And, you know, how bad can you feel, really? Because on some level, they all had to know. A cheap holiday is other people's misery. Yeah. Vanquish has fallen flat on its face hard. I do not disagree. RC Maniac made out like a bandit from someone else's failed Tricks of Fortune. Yeah. Because they're just looking for that limited edition stuff. No. Who replied to my comment about the Ascent Fusion earlier? Oh. It was the first episode where awesome, epic, or game changer was not uttered. Oh. As the poet philosophers Metallica once said, sad but true. Pretty sure all the TOF boxes. There are ones posting up on Facebook Marketplace. Like, they make their post, and within an hour, the entirety of the package, minus what they deem to be limited edition, is up for sale. And some people are, RC Maniac is not wrong. So, I got these tweezers to replace my old tweezers. They're pretty cool. And this is the newer version. This is the 1.5 version of the 1.5. It's pretty cool. That guy, I don't know if he knows. Maybe he doesn't have time experience in front of a camera. If you took a shot every time that guy said pretty cool, you would be in a 330 wheelbase level coma. So I'm just calling that guy. I don't know who that guy is, but I call that guy pretty cool guy. Which doesn't mean I have anything against him. He's just a pretty cool guy. He said pretty cool like 27 times in the span of about 7 minutes. I can use that fly scanner receivers to put one of my trucks I have for sale. If nobody's emailed about it, whoever emails about it gets it. Yeah, I mean, here's the problem. I don't want to sound like a jackass, right? But at the same time, I kind of do. Because if you're buying a truck of fortune from Vanquish, you kind of on some level have to know what you're doing. You know what you're getting into, right? You go into it for the process. Buying a truck of fortune is like going and buying those mystery bags that they have at every convention, state fair, wherever. Brown paper bag with stuff in it. And they have written on the outside of it, here's what is in it. This one has One Piece stuff in it. Or this one has X-Files stuff in it, or G.I. Joe stuff in it. There's a really low level of you having any kind of, oh, wow, when you open that bag. AZ Desrider says they got the crappiest as the draw you got. The crappiest draw, and you can give me an over or under, whether you think you went over or under this one. A guy got a stance, a set of carbon rails, F10 portal housings, and there was one other item, like a tub of grease and a bottle opener.
And the standoffs.
And the standoffs. Not even the motor plate, just the standoffs. That's all he got. The insult. I put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable right there. The insult of getting a stance and carbon rails. That dude got Jay and Silent Bobbed. They might as well have gotten in a plane, flown to his house, and when he answered the door, just kicked him right in the balls. Like, I don't care if you try to add up the money. Like, okay, well, I say this to assuage myself. Because we went in, we got a Trucks of Fortune here. We got a Falcon Phoenix, axle housings, and a motor plate. End of list. You know how they say minimum value of $900? It was $899.98. They couldn't even throw anything in to get us the 2 cents over the damn $900 value mark.
Well, they didn't have the bottle cap opener.
They didn't have the bottle opener at that time. So they couldn't have, and I don't think they were peddling their bottles of grease then. So do you know how many of those Trucks of Fortune I saw that came with third members but no housings? Are you serious?
Or the 3 different anos?
Yeah. Or, oh my God, the dude in the, I don't want to spoil it. I would like you to watch it. It's really worth the like 10 or 12 minutes. But the guy who got the limited edition color on the Curry covers. They're like that forest green. And then he got blue wheels with sky blue IFRs. I made a joke on the Discord that Vanquish picks out the parts in a room illuminated by a single red light bulb, so they can't tell what the color of anything they're putting in a box is. People are paying $100+ for the bottle opener.
What?
RC Fabricator, I need to say something, and this is going to be unpopular, and I don't care, because this is definitely in my character, and I stand by it. You have 2 non-competing, but similar in their approach, fandoms. You have a group that I call the Red Cat Army. Red Cat Army! And then you have another group that I call the Vanquishites. They pledge their fealty to Vanquish. And the difference between these 2 groups is, no offense to an individual intended, I speak only of groups and populations, is the difference between ignorance and stupidity. Ignorance is not knowing any better. The Ascent Fusion is the best vehicle you've ever driven if it's the only vehicle you've ever driven. As soon as you put the Red Cat Army guy into something decent, he's going to go, oh, wait a minute, I get it now. But then you have Vanquish guys paying $100 for PG-13, everybody. We're allowed one. Paying $100 for a fucking bottle opener. And that's insane. Insane. I don't care if that can opener, I don't care, I'm going to call it a can opener. I don't care if that can opener has got Swarovski crystals on it. Like, there's no such thing as mass-produced limited edition. I'm in the rant. This is what you wanted. I'm moving more towards the Gear 4 Luffy every moment, okay? Do you want something limited edition? Do you want something limited edition? Do you want to say, like, say you want your kit crawler and you want it to be limited edition? Here's what you do. You go out and you go on Amazon and you buy yourself the knockoff F10Ts. You buy yourself some cheap Amazon Capras. Splurge and buy yourself some Mias Capras. Take them apart. Take the knuckles, take the rails, take the bodies, take them all, put them in a bag, and trundle them down to your local place that does anodizing. And say, I would like these done in a soft green, or a deep purple, or a vibrant orange. And they will anodize all of that batch of parts in that color, and they will be beautiful. And do you know how many other people in the world will have those parts anodized in those colors? Nobody! You! You will have made something that is truly limited edition because it is yours. It is much like people who take their hands and they make things and they put them together, and then there's one of those. Ratchet here is one of one. I built the rails, the gearbox, the skid, the body mounts, all of it. There's one. I will never build another one. That is a limited edition. Jolly Green is a limited edition. At the most, what do you foresee out in the world? 50 of them? Right? Even Zoku could be called limited edition because there's probably 1,000 of them out in the world. Total, they're not mass produced. They're made by one guy. I don't care if Vanquish is 2 guys in a shed in the basement of a riverboat. It's not limited edition. Their parts are produced in a factory in a foreign country and come here in a shipping container. You can call it limited edition all day, but any value prescribed to that object is prescribed only by the people who prescribe the value themselves. Vanquish wheels and all of their other limited edition parts are the cryptocurrency of the RC crawler subgenre of toy cars. This thing is worth a bunch of money because we say it is. It's nuts. What is Junkbot? I like the bumper on the kit crawler build. I have one of these. Yeah, these are $20 on Amazon. This is flavor 1. This is flavor 2. They just came out with this one. I think with the body that's going to go on here, I like the point. So the river boats absolutely have basements. That's where the Vanquish guys are.
Room under the water.
So Junkbot is this. Someone made a half joke. What would happen if you what would happen if you built a rig using only the worst possible parts? And I built Junkbot. Let me answer the question. Sanctus says, is the Ascent Fusion redeemable at all, or should I just throw it on Marketplace and start over? Here's the thing. Just don't invest any money in it. If you want to drive it as it is, and maybe just change the tires, great. But if you make any effort to upgrade that vehicle, you're just throwing good money after bad. You're never going to be able to correct the core issues of the Ascent, which are the Gen 9 axles. That's number 1. Then we get to the fact that the geometry is bad. It's bad. It was not thought out. It has bump steer. It has axle sway. It's got all of it. It has all of the negative things. So I built Junkbot, not one, but two Reedy Crawler 16 turn 5 slots. The Amazon gearbox, you will notice a bunch of shininess. That's because the top shaft has so much slop in it that when it gets load on it, the spur will completely disconnect itself from at least one of the pinions. These are Amazon knockoff 10-1 rails that have so little structural rigidity. Oh, wait. Unbelievable. RC four-wheel drive Kings, Spectrum S614, Gen 7 axles. That is the sum total of your steering angle. There's about 25 degrees of steering angle. This vehicle has broken every drive shaft or part in it multiple times. Look how good those bearings are, though. It has no dry. It has no. Oh, and then of course these are the clone Rock Beasts, which are actually the worst tires in the world. I know that I say that about Boom Racing Hustlers, but these tires. I'm kind of into it now. These are the worst tires in the world. They have less grip. I genuinely believe that if you were to just take the rims and drive aluminum on rocks, you would get more grip than these tires. And the body is only on here because I thought it was funny that it only mounts with 2 posts and it flops around a lot. There's nothing wrong with this J Concepts body. The J Concepts body is kind of historical of that it was Jolly Green's body for a short time. And I just cut the bed and then screwed it haphazardly down to fit. Everything about it is, it can't do anything. Yeah, I mean, everybody loves Junkbot, but it can't do anything. Gen 7 axles get the weight down low. The pumpkin is nearly on the floor. Let me give you a number.
Junkbot has something to say.
The number is 1 inch. The bottom of the pumpkin on a Gen 7 axle is 25 millimeters off the ground.
How big are the tires? 475?
475s. So on class 1s, it would be 19 mil. It would be 3/4 of an inch off the ground. It has, the Gen 7 axle has clearance like a sedan.
Turn a sedan chassis into a rock crawler.
The Mias nylon has 14 millimeters of clearance with no tires on it. Sitting on the C-hubs. This is 14 millimeters off the ground. So Junkbot lives on. We have to find another, I don't know if you can see in there. You can see the end of the dog bone. The end of the dog bone just hanging out inside the cup. It's broken every drive shaft multiple times. Well, we can't replace the axles. There's no point in replacing the axles because if you replace, if you replace the axles, here's a lesson in cascading failures. If you remove the Gen 9 axles from
geometry is still.
This is Rattlecat. Rattlecat began life as a Red Cat Ascent. Okay? The only parts of Red Cat Ascent that still remain on Rattlecat is this little clip right here. It's the only part that's still. Oh, and the other half of the little clip. Okay? It's the only parts that remain. Because here's what's going to happen. When you remove the Gen 9 axles, and I replace them with F10s, when you remove the Gen 9 axles, that point of failure just moves down the chain. Then you get to find out how truly catastrophically terrible the geometry that Red Cat has done is. Then you get to find out how weak the gears are inside the transfer case. Then you get to find out how bad the shocks are. And then and on and on and on. Actually, if you rebuild those shocks, reseal them, and run them upside down, they're not too bad. I think they're kind of the best part of it. So my Gen 7 axle build has the clearance of a Roomba. So what you end up with is if you start investing money into any Red Cat, Marksman, Wendigo, Gen 7, Everest, Ascent, any of them, you're going to reach a point where you reach the point here. This began as a Red Cat Ascent. The only part that remains is the body hinge. Look how low my motor is compared even to the Ascent. Like, all we did was replace all of it. And then it was good. But as each little bit of Red Cat is replaced, it gets better and better and better until you find out, oh, the only thing that was holding this back was all of the Red Cat. So the Red Cat Ascent, particularly the Fusion, because while it is detuned, it is still a Fusion, which means in RTR terms, it's one of the best power plants you can get. And when you say, that's all that need be said. When talking about an Ascent Fusion and saying that the best part of it is the worst Fusion money can buy, I think that says everything you need to know about the Red Cat Ascent Fusion.
Well, you said the shocks are okay.
The shocks are okay. After you rebuild them, and they're no worse than Axial. The Red Cat shocks are no better or worse than an Axial stock shock. You know. I thought the Hexfly servo, mine burned up. What is the frame on the new build? Oh, Vanquish Trucks of Fortune. That is the answer that I was. There we go. It's Kit Crawler. The sides, the rails, the bed are all Kit Crawler. I didn't use his skid. He was kind enough to send me a blank skid, so I can mount whatever gearbox I want. But this skid just lines up. It's the exact same width. It's the exact same everything. The best thing about a Red Cat is not owning one, 100%. And then it also has, it had little cross members that mount to a battery tray, and the battery tray was, I think, supposed to go between these two holes right here. You'll see that my choices have made that not possible. So I'm going to run an 850 on this side, and I'm going to run this big old horse on this side, and I'm going to run the wires over just like that. But I need to... Oh, I did turn it on. I did. We're going to make a guess. We're going to go just like this. Oh, I can... You know what I can do? I can move some of my crap out of the way, and I can bring you along for soldering. It'll be an absolute blast. I have mine brassed and all, but the CV joint broke. Should I fix it and make it a trail truck? Yeah, anything can make a great trail truck. Get an AliExpress hard body, slap that business on there. Trail trucks have a complete different view in my mind, right? Because I don't look at trail trucks in terms of I just take it out on the trail. I look at it and it is like Bruce and Nigel. I want the looks. I want the looks to be all those things that I'm not willing to sacrifice for performance, right? I don't want to put hard bodies on everything because hard bodies hurt and they're expensive, and Bruce looks every bit the part. So he is my trail guy. The FMS FJ40 is a terrible rock crawler. What's the best mode for blacking brass? Here, look at this for a second while I reach. See what drive techs do. I don't know what the European equivalent is. Brass black. If you get lazy, you can put some in a container, just dip the part in it, lift it back out, and it's black. It lasts pretty good. Well, I almost did a reach again. It lasts pretty good, and let's see. We can see how good does it last. I'm going to have to pull a wheel, otherwise you're not going to be able to see it. So, these are KYX, and I blacked these. I was too lazy to take the axles apart, so I didn't black the C-hubs. Gives a nice finish. I also used aluminum black on this, but it takes a lot more abuse off of rock, so that's mostly just scratches that have cut through the coating. But brass black is great. Because if you've ever used these KYX knuckles, you know they are bright, really bright brass. And they were really standing out on the front of this. And brass black, I don't know what it is. It's some kind of an acid. People kept telling me not to get it on my hands. And I was like, first time here? I only just started using Ear Pro and respirators like 5 years ago. And I still don't use the respirator most of the time. So, you know, yeah, back on that one. Now, oh, the knife fell under. There we go. Now I've lost my 300. I don't know where my 300 went. Better? Is that better? Yeah, it's all right. You know what it is? It's fine. What's the best way to wall mount crawlers? I would. How much damage are you planning on doing? I've seen some people do some cool stuff with French cleats. If I was mounting them to a wall, yeah, I would probably just. Yeah, then you gotta find where the studs are. I've seen where people just do basically like an L bracket with like a piece of 2x4 on it, and then you just set the rig on it so that the rigs are pointing out from the wall. I don't have a place in my life where I could mount rigs pointing out from a wall where I wouldn't be walking into them all the time. I would say the easiest way to do it would just to put up like a board with 2 pins hanging out of it, and you just hang them by the rear axle like that. That's how they're hanging on the other side of this wall. You ready for the low-tech? Brace yourselves. I'm not even going to bother to airdrop it. So on the other side of the wall, it just looks like that. So there's a pegboard, and then it's got hooks, and I just hang them. And nowhere in this building could you find rigs packed more tightly together than that right there. I mean, there's what? 7? And the radios for all 7 are all hanging right there. Are there better ways? Sure. Are there more decorative ways? Almost 100%. But if you're only talking about hanging like 3 of them,
very simple, bing bang bosh.
Bing bang bosh. 15-minute warning. Holy crap! What happened?
You gotta do your rant.
A minute ago it was like 2:30. Rip out the drywall and put them between the studs. Would you suggest as far as a Susan for a Jolly Green build? Oh, long Susan? Oh, long Susan. You can, okay. A yoga block is just EVA foam. You can cut it with anything. I cut it on the bandsaw. You could literally make like a double yoga block. Susan should be a big
Jelly Green balance on Susan as
But-
she is.
Yeah. Yeah. But when you go to turn it around, you knock everything off your bench. Everything falls down. When you spin around a rig with a 445 millimeter wheelbase.
Oh, because you don't have the.
Yeah, because it's so
base.
long. Does the pegboard way leave flat spots in the tires? No. Beware a nurgle. Yeah, I know that wall caught a nurgle. Oh,
But it is a pretty nurgle.
I do my very best. I only spray paint outside. They say use in a what is it, a well ventilated area. You can't get any more well ventilated than outside. But I will say, after I spray painted 3 cans of Plastidip on those gauntlets, oh my God, Plastidip has got something gnarly in it. Because I was feeling it. Let me see where I can. Let me see where I can position the camera. Camera 3 flying over. Because we only do the finest. How about that? What's that look like? I have preview. Why am I not looking at it? There we go. Blip. Hey. And we have a 50-50 here, which is, I didn't even pretend this. Nope, not quite. We have a 50-50 of getting the motor rotation in the correct direction. When are we getting Crawler Canyon Tim-Tins? As soon as I can find a source of all the EVA foam that my lungs can absorb. I had EVA foam in my eyeballs. It's apparently not too caustic or toxic because it didn't turn me into a robot or anything. I got so much of a better bead on that second one than I did on the first one. It's crazy. And then the third one looks great too. Okay, we're gonna have to add either more juice or look at that, everybody. It almost looks like he knows what he's doing. Look at that. That's some decent joints. Now, I'm so lazy, I don't even want to reprogram a speed control. So I will desolder 2 of those wires if the rotation is backwards. Hako! Some dice, some other random crap, the chargers, everything's just jammed in there. This is how we do. Camera 3, back in your hole. Apply flux to the solder joints. Well, I had to desolder the wires. And I had to desolder this from the bullets. So they were already all 10. Oh, is it too much wire? But is it though? But I mean, is it though? What if we flip this around this way? Is it too much wire now? I don't like to, it's going to be backwards. Damn you! Curse you!
You got a 50-50 chance.
I got a 50-50 chance. I can't believe he would try to curse us like that and be like, it's going to be backwards. Because, I mean, we do have a 50-50 chance.
Well, that you don't like to cut wires.
I don't like to cut wires. Here's the thing. Why you would never cut this stuff, why you would never cut these wires shorter, what if we take this thing out here and it's way too slow? Or we take it out there and it's way too fast? We need to be able to change the motor out and maybe put the motor in something else. And I've never attempted to resolder the wires where they enter the... I mean, I know you could just cut them and put extensions on them, but you know, then you've ruined it. So cutting of wires takes place after we know it works. We ghost ride. See, look at that. You want to know what experience looks like? Detach that servo horn before you energize this thing for the first time, lest you find out you put that servo horn on 90 degrees off. And as soon as you power it up, that servo goes whack and breaks something.
Oh, you're sure.
Got to go mow before the rain hits. That's crazy. The first wire I soldered was either A or C, probably. Like I say, it is. There might be 3 wires, but it is a 50-50 outcome. It's either rotating in the correct direction or rotating backwards. I think I am going to have to go into the app anyway. I'm going to have to bring out a tiny little lappy because I have to make sure. I don't know what. I never turn the BECs up on these because I tend to use them with direct power servos. But I saw the reefs, I saw the 80, and I was like, might as well. We're gonna have to pair these. Fresh one on there. Oh, I can just push this one with my hand. Come on. It's quiet.
Really quiet.
I didn't add any grease to that gearbox.
Is the motor spinning the right way?
Well, okay. I don't have anything. I need to test something. I don't remember. Does the Rhino auto calibrate when you power it up? That's what the Secure does. I don't think it does. Give me a B-doop. Give me a B-doop! Nope, it's backwards. Because we go to reverse, we go to throttle, reverse. What is it with what is it with speed controls all wanting your throttle channel to be reversed? I don't. No. Wait. Yep. It's backwards. It's backwards. So close we were. Always, every time. You power it up and you're like, I had it. And then you reverse your throttle channel and it's straw cab. Okay, I will go with the solder joints that I like better. I was gonna say time me to see how long. For why I don't bother to get the laptop out to reverse motor rotation. Because I'm already done. Because that's how long it takes to reverse, to flip 2 wires. Did you all see that? See if it does it again. Power squat. Yes, I realize I'm living near the edge. This wire is almost touching the motor, and the receiver was almost getting fed into that wheel hex, but we're all living on the edge. I don't know. I don't know what I have the BEC set to, but well, that's pretty close. That's darn close. The hole in that damn servo horn is barely the size of the screw. Also, don't tighten your clamping screws while it's energized because you can accidentally bump into the radio, which is right here next to my elbow. Turn the steering and snap the end off of your 1.5 millimeter wrench. I've never done that before, by the way. That's right. Mr. Truitt is right. I had it wired correct, It's the portals that made it rotate backwards. That is looking on the bright side of life right there. For realsies. Perfect. What do we have that's on a wheel? I want to see it move.
I thought the mixed barbed wires were, razor wires were mounted.
They're not mounted.
Is that a different thing?
They have inserts in them. Inserts and rims. Follow me here. Two different things. I don't know what spirit the kit crawler carries within it, but it feels, I mean, it's black and silver, right? Is there anything here that's not black and silver? Okay, those hexes may be a little too thick. I like that I'm bothering with the fronts and rears. Like it matters. These are going to be on here for 5 minutes. We're not going to get the body on, so I want to see it move. I can probably, yeah. I'm going to have to put a wire guide of some sort on here. Kit chassis looks nice. Do they have a website? I don't know. I don't know. He contacted me. Instagram? Email? It's been a couple months. I'll probably have to take these hexes to the lathe, turn them down a little bit. I've tried the thing of making it, I've definitely tried the thing of, ooh, interesting, Clark. You could easily fit all that on the axle. Yeah. I could make a tray that goes right behind, yeah, ooh. The 880 is really long, but I probably actually could. Yeah, they're a little too short for that side, a little better for that side. I don't know why I'm not just setting stuff in the bed. We just want to make it move. And that will pull the... Steering is also reversed. Let's get a little endpoint down. I consider this... I think there's a little bit of parallax happening. I think it looks like there's more space between the servo and the motor than there is. There's about 60 millimeters between the front of the motor and the back of the ESC. Now, that motor and ESC combo are pretty light. Looking at it top down, I think I probably actually could fit a Fusion in there, but it would come dangerously close to striking the drive shaft.
Plus side, if it works, it's minimal weight up top.
Yeah.
High weight.
That is Stanson. This thing is wide. Live dangerously. The motor is the Furatech Dynamic 380, and the speed control is a Rhino V80. Oh, no, it just looks wide. 250. 10 inches, sub 10 inches, fine. I'm absolutely fine with that. It looks like it's sitting pretty good, too. We'll give it the big test. Big test. Wow, that camera's really way off. Right about. Try to get it in frame a little bit.
The ultimate bench test.
Yeah, sign feels real good on that. And absolutely no problem. It didn't slowpoke me at all. Like sometimes I can feel like a little bit of a judder come through it. Uh-oh. Did we accidentally find the tires that are going on this too?
Yeah.
Get a little hung up. Now, how are we going to pull the rear? Yeah, for anyone out there, how bad is unsprung rear weight? So, like, if you got Mias axles with the brass rear portal covers, does it hurt? Is it worth replacing those with plastic covers? These axles came in from Mr. Truitt, and they have the rear weights. I'm gesturing to the wrong camera. I've never run the rear portal weights on Mias before. You will be able to tell, like, if your vehicle has a tendency to woo when descending, a little bit of rear weight can help. But you did say unsprung. That would be unsprung. Yeah, no, you should be fine. I think in many instances, you don't need additional weight in the rear. If you get up into a really high split, like if you're over 60% in the front, it's probably not going to hurt. I think that those guys that are like crazy, oh man, I got like 65-35 or 63-37 or something like that, there is certainly a point of diminishing returns unless the only thing you ever do is go uphill. If you're doing nothing but ascending, the weight bias to the front is helpful. I will continue to say that the most important number is the difference between unsprung weight and sprung weight. You want at least half the weight unsprung. Yeah, I need to cover all the obstacles and work mats. Can you get me EVA foam, but like in its liquid format, and then we'll just spray down the whole course with it? With the black, of course, so that the surface on the ground is 2,000 degrees and it will just melt your tires off. EVA foam has a lot of grip. Obstacle mat, yes. Yes, it definitely depends on your geometry. If you already have the weights, there's only one way to tell if they work or not. Drive it. Take it out and drive it. And if you notice that when you're ascending, if you notice the rear end is doing like a little whip, and it can't pull over, that means that there's a little too much weight pushing those tires back a little too much. And you can test it. If you come up behind your vehicle, you're on that ascent and you can't quite make it, come up and just put one finger on the back. And if you give it just a little bit of a nooch, if it goes, then you can probably lose that weight in the back. And you will be compromising because then you will ascend better. But then the next time you're going down something steep, you'll notice that rear end getting real light. And you'll be like making almost no contact with the rear wheels. And then you'll be like, oh, it is definitely different from one thing to the other. Does the VRD carbon kit come with a pinion? I believe it does. I believe it comes with a 15-tooth pinion. Crawler Canyon is live right now. It's true. Live from the canyon. Nice. Nice. So far, so good, you know? Nice. I feel this is as unscientific as possible because none of the electronics are mounted in the places that they're supposed to be. What I do is I give a little bit of a lift and I feel how much pushback I'm getting from the rest of the geometry. So when I do this, it is greater than the weight of the one corner because that's how geometry works. That's how crossweights work. When I do this side, it feels about the same as this side. Maybe a little more pressure or tension on that, but we do have randomly distributed weight. This feels like it's got a screw through it into the bench top. And then this one lifts a little bit easier. Now, that might just come down to the distribution. That might come down to, I think, what did I say? This link, I think, is probably a millimeter, like one turn of the end longer. Because did I do my due diligence and take this thing down off the rack on the wall to measure and make sure that the lefts and the rights are the same length? You absolutely know that I didn't. I hack-bodged them together to get them to fit, and here we are. 330 wheelbase. It feels pretty good. Let me regale you here in the last moment. We should be in the midst of the Midwest goodbye at this point, honestly. Can I get there? Yeah. Links right about level. So we could honestly maybe go up a hole in the front. We could maybe come forward one hole on the rear. But we don't want to make any of those adjustments until we've got the weight affixed where the weight is supposed to be affixed. Flex-wise, we're doing just about right. It's a little more flex in the rear, not surprisingly. Memory serves. I want to say front lowers 110 and rear lowers 155. So that's a good, it's not exactly skid forward, but the skid is a little more forward. I definitely went off of shock angle more than I went off of anything else. And then pinion angle was second to that. Oh, Neil Daniels got kicked out. Yeah. How hard would it be to make Leafs from scratch, springs, and chassis mounts? There's a guy on YouTube and Instagram that does it. He makes them out of recoil springs, starter springs for lawnmowers. It's a full-on thing. It really is. To the point where, like, it almost looks like blacksmithing. So I don't know if it's something I would do, and I even thought about it, and then I went back and rewatched those videos and was like, I don't know about that. So, can it be done? Yes. Are there even tutorials for it? Yes. But it will not be easy. And at the end of it, you'll be like, I should have gone on Amazon and bought some generic leaf kits and stuck them onto something. Because unless you basically need leaves specific to a build that you're doing, I don't know if that kind of effort is the kind of effort that I would put in. Actually, I would say it's definitely not the kind of effort that I would put in. So the kit crawler we got far closer. This is, can we build it? Yeah, that thing ran, and nobody could tell me that it didn't. Thank you, Mr. Woodham, for the 20. Thanks for a great time closing out the work week. That's why I'm here. That's why we're here on Fridays. So he's headed out to run with the kiddos. It's good. I'm glad to hear that Spirit is still alive and kicking. That would, of course, for those be the FCX-10 that went to live in its forever home on a farm in Alabama. And this will be the guy. And it looks like that is going to line up pretty much perfectly. That'll get chopped down, and honestly, that is something great. Oh, MKRC Build points out making leaves is not easy because you need 4 donor coils and you need to cut each leaf from the same section of each coil to get the same flex on each spring. Oh no, I would have just bought 1 coil and wondered, why is this thing driving in a circle?
Same here.
So there we go. We will come to a conclusion as to what color to paint it on. And I'll get that mounted. I'll get the electronics buttoned down. And on a day coming up over probably this week, I might be able to get it in this week. We will have the first run of this guy. Hey! 77. I get that. I get that. 77 monks dropping the 25. 25 right at the close of the show. We thank you so all very much for joining us. I only went over 10 minutes, which is pretty good. As the coils get shorter and more coil gets used, you have to have a different bend, tighter bends as you get closer to the center coil. Yeah. Yeah, so your helpers will be stiffer because they'll have a tighter coil. I still kind of want to try it, you know? Like, I want to build my own springs for Bruce, and then I can build my own rails. Thank you so much, young man, for building my kit. I truly know the KKV1. That is what it is called, the KKV1. And then the KKV1 will be in the rotation for cabs because when we see it right here, and it'll have to get a tire going through. We'll see what tires agree with it the most best. And then we'll do all the usual things. We'll do all of the usual things. So, thank you so much, everybody. Did we have a good time? I feel like we did. Yeah, this is maybe a 5-pounder. 5 or maybe a little bit over. 250 wide, 330 long. KKV1. Look at that. That motor looks like it's dead in the center. Neat. We're going to set it over here on this yoga block right there. Park that radio over there. Move these trays out of the way. My workbench remains reasonably clean. I will go through those emails. Sometimes I do it later this evening. Sometimes I wait a day or so. It depends. He says his is 3,300 grams. Oh, I probably should have teared out the foam block. 2,300. Did I say 5 pounds? Because I think that's right about 5 pounds. That is 5.25 pounds. So when this guy is done and RTR, oh, I did take the battery out. 5.5. Yeah, this thing will be right around 5.5 because a creep cab painted weighs about 75 grams. So we'll be about 2,400 grams, 2,500 grams when we're done. We'll be sub 6, still be a pretty lightweight boy, and that's with no effort. Oh, and it's got brass on the axles, so the sprung to unsprung should be pretty fantastic, honestly. I'm looking forward to wheeling that, which means I got to come out here sometime tomorrow and get that thing put together the rest of the way. So, there you go. Oh, yeah. I don't know if Kit Crawlers has said where you can get a hold of him, if you want to get a hold of him. But if he's got another few moments to say that, where can you get a hold of Mr. Kit Crawlers?
Tell Mr. Kit Crawler to go to the Discord.
Well, he's just right. Oh, yeah. If Mr. Kit Crawlers is not on the Discord, the link to the Discord is in the channel description. It's filled with a bunch of lunatics, many of whom are here right now. 17 seconds is a good time. He's on Etsy. There you go. Kit Crawlers on Etsy. Bosh. 17 seconds is a good time for a Susan. We're feeling pretty good. I'm going to see you all in the next one, everybody. We'll get 17 seconds for sure. Thanks so much for joining us in between now and when we meet again. Please, one and all, do your very best. Have a good one, everybody. I will see you again here from the canyon real soon. We do the thing where we mute the mic and we turn the camera off later. I haven't forgotten you. And now you can't see my reflection in the boxes anymore because the boxes are gone. You don't know if I'm here or if I'm not.